Wednesday night hump day edition of Outlaw Radio. Welcome to the show. I know I'm late. I'm late sometimes, right? It happens. Welcome to the show. My name is Kevin Barnes. I am the host of Outlaw Radio, the militant with a microphone, the mouthpiece of the movement, aka the Negro Whisperer, certified professional life coach, and Negro Whisperer. Yeah. If you've known me for a while, you say, how the fuck is he a life coach? It is what it is, man. Welcome to the show. I'm so happy to have y'all here tonight. Like I said, I know I'm late. Please, please, please don't blame it on my mind. Blame it on my heart. Because I actually got caught up just watching my son's catch from last week's game, a big 45-yard bomb. So I was just kind of watching it over and over. And so I was like, damn, it's time to do the show. I had to run as far as I could run, right? If you know me, if you know, you know. I had to run down here to the cockpit and get it ready. But I'm ready to go because I really have a lot to talk about tonight, man. Kamar, what's going on, man? You said it is Wednesday night, right?
Yeah, it is Wednesday. How y'all doing out there? Welcome to Outlaw Radio, where we talk that talk and we definitely walk that walk. Raising vibrations and elevating thought. Y'all better come on in. I'm trying to tell you, I am the black woman lover, the black man's brother, the culture teacher, hood healer, the ghetto witch doctor. Hey, mama, there go the CMOS man! Y'all better come on in. I'm trying to tell you, if you ain't been to the house, get you some elderberry syrup, man. It's that time of year. Come on in, family.
Absolutely. Listen, let's get enlightened. Let's take advantage of this time together to get enlightened. My brother, how you doing tonight, man?
I'm well. I am well.
Okay.
Feeling good.
I feel really well. That's what I'm saying. Outside is so pleasurable. Outside, wind. Man. I love the wind. I don't want to hear it. It's hard to come in the house. I want to stand like fuck the show. I'm chilling. but I'm here to do my sworn duty, man. And you know, they say the duty of the civilized is to teach the uncivilized. So I'm just going to do my part, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't do much. I just do what I can, right? I feel like I help push things forward. Y'all share this show. I can't, like, it's nothing if people don't see it. If you watch it every week and you love it, don't be selfish. Share this shit so we can all blow up. It is what it is, man. Mondays and Wednesdays, 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time until whenever we choose to cut the machine off, quite simply because we own the machine. Yeah. So ownership has its privileges. Hey, man, I'm ready to talk to y'all. It's go time. Fuck what you heard, right? Fuck what you thought you heard. Fuck all the memes. Fuck all the social media posts. What we gonna do? And you know what, Kamar, I found out, this has always been a thing for me. I was born on November 4th, right? Mm-hmm. So every birthday is either, you know, every 4 years it's either an election, but this year's going to be on the 5th, right? So I didn't know. I wasn't paying attention because as you get older, you know, your birthday, as you get older, your birthday means less and less. It's almost kind of like, you know what I mean? You be great.
This year again?
Right. Like, damn, we just did this. You know, so a cake and shit, you don't really need that type shit, right? Like, I feel like at my age, when your birthday comes, you want to do something for yourself. You're not really like, I'm not like, hey, it's my birthday. I feel like I need to do something for myself and take a day to myself and just chill. I'm like, damn, I'm getting older. So my birthday is actually Monday. That's what I just found out. Like an old field nigga, right? I just found out when I was born. I'm a funk baby. I was born in 1975. In the midst, when the funk was the funk, Kamar, I popped out. Yeah. There we go. I'm a funk baby. This is why it's hard for people to understand me, right? And so I this birthday, so we won't be on Monday. because I'm gonna do me for the next. Once Friday hit, I'm everything. No work, no. It's all about Kev. So no show Monday. So tonight will be our kind of like a great opportunity for us to get all this shit off our chest, man. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's how we gonna rock it tonight. But the name of the show tonight is Watch Your Mouth. Watch your mouth. So you got to be from the hood to understand this, Kamar. You know what back in the days we spoke in it when you're on the block, you speak in the code, right? When somebody going too far, doing too much, you say, man, watch your mouth, man.
Right.
like who you talking to?
You either talking too much or you saying the wrong shit.
I watch your mouth, man. What's wrong with you, nigga? Watch your mouth. And so sometimes I feel like when we in America in particular, when we have conversations about foundational Black Americans, such as you and myself, people are liable to say anything, right? And now with the advancement and the maturation process that we've undergone, we understand some of the shit that you say is just to try and get my goat, right? You just want to knock me off my square. But at the same time, it's still like, hey man, watch your mouth, right? Like watch. And so I had this whole revelation from Monday's show. And we were talking about the fact that this election means certain things to certain people. For some of us, it's personal. We don't like Trump. We don't like the way white people act when Trump is anywhere around, much less sitting in the White House, right? For some of us, it's the direct attack on the democratic system as we know it, because he wants to remove all kinds of, checks and balances, allegedly, to make himself supreme ruler. America has never had a ruler. You know what I mean? It's always been rich people with money and people who get votes. That's who runs the country. That's a consortium. No one mouth is greater than the other. So it represented those two things. But I was talking about Black voter turnout, and I was, and the white boy came on and he says, like, your people are sheep. And, he even corrected me because I said our voter turnout was low. So I ran down some facts on that tonight. We're going to talk real. But what I want to tell this white boy, and listen, I know Scott because he's been around for a long time. He's a fan of Outlaw Radio. Come on. You know that because you've been around a while.
Right.
He's a fan. I've asked him several times. If you don't like Black people, why the fuck do you listen? Why do you call me? Why do you inbox me? Why do you text me? We've had some conversations. But what he said kind of rang true. I'm going to have to give that up tonight. He said something to me that rang true. I'm going to talk about that. The number is 262-202-5131. It's on the bottom of the screen. And my chat room always pops. Case in point. Vince Tony in there early. The agitator himself. Vince Tony. How you doing? He said, what up, Outlaws? What up, family? Mama Jenkins in here early. She said, good evening, family. Well, when you come back Wednesday, we will have a new president. Enjoy your birthday. Yes, ma'am. I plan to. I'm going to have a good time. I'm going to have a good time. And you know how I know I'm going to have a good time for my birthday, Kamar?
How's that?
Because my superpower is I can have a good time all by my goddamn self. Oh, yeah. I don't need nobody around me. I don't need, you know what I mean? Like I've learned how to be. I love Kev so much that I could just sit in one place and be like, man, I love you, bro. Love you too, cuz. You want another beer? Why not, man? That's why I'm having a good time. I'm having a good time. Yes, ma'am. Carl Pfeiffer, what it do, family? My cousin, man, my big cousin, Carl Pfeiffer. What it do, cuz? Good evening. Hey, man. I like I said, so we talked about, Kamar, we have to break it down on our show a little bit more aggressively than other platforms. The reason why is because we have been talking about a lot of shit, Kamar. You have to really take a take. I don't know how you see the show, But if you just think about it, we've been saying certain shit for a long time. Well, no, we're like, man, we said, did we have a show? A lot of times we be like, dude, we had a show about that like 7 years ago. People are just getting up on that shit. So when we start talking about what's about to happen in this election, I have to be honest about it because I see everybody got their panties in a bunch about how they feel and whatnot. And see, what this comes down to is we know Trump is a racist. Let no black person on this planet, on God's green earth, ever deny or doubt the fact that Trump is a racist. But the tactic that they used last weekend with the rally in New York, in which all these racist comments were made. Puerto Rico is an island of floating garbage. He went with the black dude, and they carved watermelons together. This dude was a stand-up comedian. He was a stand-up comedian, Kamar. I'm telling you, Kamar, I'm about to do one of them things where you'd be like, damn, Kevin, never thought about it like that. He was a stand-up comedian. He's not a politician, right?
Right.
And the joke about carving the watermelon was actually funny. Now, why does Kev say that? Because Kev did a show called For Shits and Giggles one time in which we did race jokes for like 2 hours straight. And we laughed our asses off. And when I watch black comics say all kinds of crazy shit about white people all the time, and I laugh at that shit. I say funny shit about white people. White people are fucking funny. It's crazy that they're in charge because they some of the funniest motherfuckers you've ever if you just sit and watch them. It's just funny. You know what I mean? So I said, man, I was on the show random. He's a racist because the people he hang around, and that's true. But the racist people we hang around are in power circles. That right there was just some kitty litter. That was chicken feed. And like, but now people say, Kev, you saying that, but it was still racist. Well, it's racist when we do it too. It's racist when we do it too. And I want to say, let's preserve the right to say something racist about the other race. Look, I got Mexican jokes. I got Puerto Rican jokes. I got Jamaican, Haitian. Trump said they're eating your pets, right? This shit is all we ribbing. Come on, I grew up in the hood. We ribbed on each other. Nobody gave a fuck about how sensitive you were, right? So now I'm with the shits too. Listen. Quiet as this kept. I got Jewish jokes. I got gay jokes, and I got a lot of black jokes. So I laughed at this shit. I laughed at it, but still understanding and keeping within context that yes, Trump is a racist. But I want to tell my people, let's stop having knee-jerk reactions over things that don't require our attention, Kamar. Let me get to the chat room and Kamar, because I want to get your piece on this. If people say you don't even be letting Kamar talk the shit, man. Cuz said on the real, Vince Tony said, Kev, you too funny. I'm the same way about myself. I'm trying to tell you, man, it's something about Kev, man. It's something about him that I like. I ain't even got to say no Diddy behind that. Like, I love this dude, man. That's what I'm saying. I can really just sit and just, man, that's why I enjoy a good bad Tubi movie. Sometimes I just be chilling. Like, look at me chilling and shit. No drama. Ain't no gunshots. Ain't no sirens. Ain't no, come on, man. I has a good time. John Fletcher said, what up, Outlaw family? LOL, like in the words of Willie D, sometimes you got to make them read these Nikes. People non-black are going to start being more disrespectful no matter who wins, family. Yeah, because if Kamala wins, then you got a pissed off group of white people saying basically there's a nigger in the White House like they did for Obama. Or you're going to have a bunch of pissed off people, period, because Trump going to be in there saying some bullshit every other day. Deion said, damn, man, motherfucker be taking forever to come on. Say, man. Deion, man. Come on, man. My father used to say, cut me some slack, Jack. I be chilling, man. This shit got to come to me. This ain't, that's why every show we do is live. You've never seen us do. Remember we had an editor for a minute, Kamar, and I got rid of him quick, right? It was like
the show.
Well, it was about if you go all the way back on the YouTube, it's probably about 7 or 8 shows that he did that he edited.
Oh, I thought you was talking about the Chinese dude that did some work or something. Wow.
Well, he did some video.
Yeah, I think that was what you talking about before I came around. I think.
No, you came right in when I had the I don't want to say his name. He was down here. He would come one show per month, and he would film with his cameras.
Yeah,
and it was edited.
Into that.
I've seen you share one of those shows.
Yeah.
But you probably didn't know. You probably like, why the fuck is dude? Right. You probably like, Kev, who the fuck is dude? You know what I mean? But I like to do the show live because it represents how you actually feel before you go and clean the shit up, man. So I want to get that off. The comedian is Tony Hinchcliffe. And when I watched it again, I said, this white boy's actually funny. Because he dissed everybody. He didn't just look. It's not like he just did black people. He dissed everybody. Come on, I was like, nah, that's the kind of shit that I'd pay to see that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So, but that's not the reason Trump is racist. We know Trump is racist because he's been Trump. When we start talking about the Central Park Five and the lawsuits that he had to pay out on because he wouldn't let black people and all this fucking and Trump. The one thing about Trump with black people is he don't pander to us. He's very sarcastic towards us, and he talks shit to us a lot. And I think that's why black people like him, because we used to, we talk shit to each other. Oh man, you ain't shit, broke ass motherfucker. And Trump is kind of like that with black people. Like he jokes around with us and shit. Like my African Americans. He knows all the rappers. He knows all the entertainers because they've all wanted to perform at his venues and be in his casino. So for him, we are basically a joke. I know what to do with the niggers. You don't worry about the niggers. I'm guaranteeing you he said that in some meeting at some point. Don't worry about the niggers. I'll get the niggers. That's my Trump impression. Come on. But no, so like so we're voting next week. I'm going to the poll. I ain't want to do mine early. I ain't want to do all of the, I wanted to make sure I'm going in person. You know what I'm saying? Get me on camera walking in the booth. Cha-ching. I'm a vote. And do I have the most faith in the United States of America's government in terms of looking out for me as a black man? Absolutely not. As a matter of fact, history has taught me that I cannot depend on the government. I need to depend on myself. Where I can get help from, I'll take it. But I'll do the rest. You feel what I'm saying? Like, so with this election, my prediction is I believe Trump will win. I believe Trump will win because I've never seen black people do what they're doing right now. I've never seen us ignore racist behavior and say, I'm still riding. And if we did that, then we always said, well, you a house nigga then. You's a coon, right? But now it's just like black people missing the whole big picture and just saying, I like him. And like I said, all you brothers in the South, Georgia, and especially Georgia, I've never seen one of y'all really be able to articulate to me why you like Trump. I'll put that challenge out here again tonight, Kamar. Anybody out there who's black, who's listening to the show, because we're not, you hear me talking, you might think, okay, this dude is a Democrat. Fuck no. Sometimes you might hear us talking, especially when we talking about legalizing marijuana and prostitution and locking people up. You say he must be a Republican. Fuck no. I'm neither. I'm a foundational black American. I'm a party pooper. I poop on both parties because their treatment of us has been egregious. Nobody can argue that fact. I don't give a fuck how intellectually white you think you are, Scott. All the shit you say is Charlie Brown's teacher. Wah, 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 wah. Because I know who I am and I know where we came from, Kamar. So you have to put that out there, man. And I think we should start establishing kind of like a system in which we check people and say, watch your mouth, right? We got a lot of culture vultures. They say, and they move, and you say, damn, we need to be watch your mouth. When you say something about Minister Farrakhan, watch your mouth. When you say something about our women, watch your mouth. When you say something about black families, black fathers, man, watch your motherfucking mouth. You don't know what you're talking about. That's usually what you get behind watch your mouth. I'm just putting together African American conjunctions. Watch your mouth. You don't know what
watch your motherfucking mouth, nigga.
Right. You say, what? You heard what I said.
You heard exactly what he said.
You heard the fuck
I said. Read the lips for them words.
Watch your mouth, man. And so we need to but that needs to be a mantra for us against everybody. And sometimes it needs to be a mantra on us, on how we talk about us. We go at each other. I feel like we want accountability, but we don't want accountability. Because you can't do anything without somebody calling you on it, Kamar. You can't make a move without somebody criticizing it. Right? But if a lot of times if you call them on their bullshit, you might have to fight to get up out the room. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna keep it real. Okay, you want to keep it real? Let's talk about you then. Hold on, man. Hold on. No. You want to keep it real, right? And I think that's what Dion was saying when he said, all you black people who enjoy benefits, whether it be food or whatever you get in terms of government assistance, state assistance, that are supporting Trump are actually supporting a candidate that wants to take that from you. So you don't know what you're doing. And you say, man, I think Trump is good for black people. Watch your mouth. You don't know what you're talking about, man. And I know a lot of us want to be intellectuals, Kamar. We really do. We really want to be intellectual. Like, we want to sound deep, and we want motherfuckers say, man, do the real one. but a lot of y'all don't be knowing what the fuck y'all talking about. So watch your motherfucking mouth. I'm sorry. I'm having too much fun, man. I'm having too much fun. Kamar, feel free to cut me off at any time. Please.
Hey, man, you on the roll. I ain't tripping. You ain't said nothing wrong.
No, man. I be having too much fun with this. I'll be like that.
A lot of people need to watch their mouth. You know what I mean? That with on Facebook, they ain't saying it, but they typing it. You know what I mean? A lot of people get tough on the internet. You know what I'm saying? Be talking crazy and I'll call you names and all kind of shit. Man, let me see me in person though. I bet you watch your motherfucking mouth.
You know, I ain't as physical as it used to be. But absolutely, there was a time in my life where if you said it, I'm going to confront you about it. Like, hey, man, what the fuck shit you nigga woo. Hey, man, you need to watch your motherfucking mouth because you don't know who around when you talking. Because some of these cats you talking around, fuck with me. You need to watch your mouth. And it was real. It was real. So yeah, man. I'm telling you, man. I see you, Big Reg, out there. Big Reggie said, yo, no Trump. Hey, man, anybody but Trump. All you super smart ass Negroes, all you Negroes who think outside the box in terms of what the country needs, y'all love Trump, though. You can't tell me you ahead. I'm a step ahead of you, Kev. I support Trump. You a step behind me. Juice Lady, what it do? How you doing?
I'm well. How are y'all?
Peace.
We good. Watch your mouth. That's the name of the show tonight. Watch your mouth. Man. People just be talking, man.
Oh,
just running their goddamn mouth.
My son said they just be chatting. That's what he called it. They just be chatting. And I'm like, they do. People do just be chatting. Even sometimes me. You just be chatting.
Sometimes. You know what? I rarely venture into the realm of watch my mouth, though. Like, because if I say something to you offensive, I mean the shit. So it ain't watch your mouth. I say that shit again. What we say, Kamar? I say it again before I take it back.
That's right.
Yeah, you ain't watch your mouth. Or what, motherfucker? I ain't said nothing that ain't real. I'm just saying, like, you know, but sometimes you have to hold yourself back. I don't react. I see a lot of posts on social media all the time, and I'm like, well, that's some bullshit. And it's somebody trying to come off very intellectual or like very deep or very high vibration or whatever the fuck you want to call it. And I'm like, You need to watch your motherfucking mouth, especially when it's about men or when it's catered to women, black women, or relationships, or what a man will do, what he won't do, what a real man is, what a real woman is. A lot of people talking don't got nobody.
Yeah.
They need to watch their motherfucking mouth. I don't know how I'm having fun saying that. Dion said, "What we on tonight, gang? What we on? Whatever, man. What you want to do? It's Outlaw Radio. Watch your mouth. Outlaw Radio. Watch your mouth. See, we demand respect from each other a lot of times, but we don't demand respect from other people in the same fashion.
Yeah,
You know what I
no.
mean? Like motherfuckers get to code switching and shit. And hey, Bill, how's your cat? No, I don't even fucking like cats. I tell white people that all the time at every job. They be like, I had a cat named Tom. I'll be like, I hate cats. Like, what? I hate cats. I don't like cats. Sneaky motherfuckers. Y'all share this show. Share the show, man. Share the show. It's Outlaw Radio. I want to, we also talked about something else on the show last week in which there was this situation in Minneapolis, Minnesota, in which a white man shot a black man who was his neighbor. And they were saying that the Minneapolis police refused to go into the home and apprehend this white man because they said he suffered from mental health issues. Shout out to Dion because y'all brought this to my lens. That's why I tell you, if you're listening and you got something you want to throw on the burner, just hit us up. The number's at the bottom of the screen. But so this individual, his name was John Sawchek. All right, and he was the one who shot the young brother. The brother, he didn't sound foundational. Might be a tether Negro, but I guess he was dark-skinned enough to qualify. It's the footage is in the People's News Network. They have it, the Ring cameras. There's cameras everywhere. And so they finally did arrest him. They finally did. The Minneapolis police finally did. There was a 5-hour standoff. And they went in, and then the criminal part about this is this brother apparently had been filing complaints with the police department for years about this dude. Like, I guess this dude had pulled guns on him before, throwing shit in his yard, burning feces. And other neighbors complained about him, but the Minneapolis Police Department just said, well, he a little off, so we ain't gonna go in there and get him, right? The police chief is saying we 100% failed the victim because the brother's still alive. He survived. He got shot through the neck. It went down through his collarbone, and he's damaged. It's all in the People's News Network. He on there like, it hit my neck first. That was this. Because he's out in the backyard cutting wood. The video's there. He's cutting wood, and pow, he goes down. This dude is in the window with a hunting rifle. So they finally went and arrested him. So if I don't know, and I got people in Minnesota. Like, my daughter lives in Minneapolis. I talked to her today. She said, Dad, I ain't heard shit about that. So I guess it ain't hot, right? I don't know. Up here, we'd have been in. We had our panties in a bunch if that shit had happened up here. So they have arrested him. They have arrested him. So I just want to follow up on that story because, like I said, these kinds of things in Minneapolis, like, we're talking about George Floyd. We're talking about Philando Castile and many others, right? But this is looked upon as a destination for us to move to. People say, man, I'm out of Milwaukee. I'm moving to Minnesota. I'm moving to Minneapolis. And then when you get there, some shit like this happens. Like, shit, I could have just stayed on Burleigh.
Is that what people say for the move to Minnesota?
A lot of people. It's Minneapolis pops. I don't know if you've ever. Minneapolis pops because it's a lot of money in Minneapolis. It's St. Paul too. And it's two large cities sitting right next to each other.
Yeah, you can walk from Minneapolis to St. Paul.
It take you a while,
depending on where you what I'm saying. Depending on where you at,
there's a bridge. There's a bridge, but you might need to start. You got to start at a certain point. Don't be on that. And you're like, God damn! Commercial said it was right on the corner.
You could walk.
I mean, it's listen.
But that's just some shit they told me. You know what I mean? When I was out there,
they are close.
I had been driving, and I actually saw how close they were together.
Yes, they are very close.
Twin cities too. They like right.
Yeah, man. Been all up and through them, man. Like, for real. Like, I like that shit. Like is like Capitol Drive and Atkinson for me because I used to be up there so much with my homeboys who I went to school with, and so I knew I just got to know the city. But it's totally different from Milwaukee because it's way more integrated, and there's a lot more money. Like shit gets done up there in terms of infrastructure. Shit, Fortune 500 companies. Look, I tell you what, you come into downtown Minneapolis at night and look at their skyline. And then come to Milwaukee late at night and look at ours. You're gonna be like, damn, what the fuck happened? Like that shit is more money over there. But it's very, very racist. It's very racist. It's very, very racist because there are no minorities outside of Minneapolis. The rest of the state in St. Paul, the rest of the state, whew, it's just like northern Wisconsin. Once you get out of southeastern Wisconsin, brothers is far and few between. Don't get me wrong. You got some stragglers. Maybe they met Becky in college or something. They living their ass up there. There's some black people in Green Bay now, from what I hear, but they all Milwaukee transplants. Usually them niggas got warrants.
Milwaukee and Chicago.
Right. They got warrants. Come on. Somebody moved to Green Bay. Like you got drama with somebody. They shooting up your house. We out of here, baby. We going in. I'm fucking with y'all. No, man, but like I said, the number is 262-202-5131. Y'all can call in. This is my birthday weekend. Woo! Man, yes, ma'am. Yeah, like say that again, Courtney. That's how that was. Yeah, see, my voice don't go that high. There you go. My birthday weekend, man. I'm and you know, people just, you getting old. Yeah, I'm actually happy I lived. I'm actually happy that I survived. I ain't sitting there looking like, oh, I wish I was still young. Now I wish I could do some of the shit I could do. When I was young, I was a motherfucker. Physically, I do wish I could still do some of that shit. But everything else, I'm like, I'm cool, man. I'm good. Like I don't look at it like, oh, woe is me. That shit. A motherfucker used to be able to
take the fourth time I'd have heard that shit today. Oh, woe is me, nigga.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's election time. Oh, woe is me. A lot of us about to be on slave mode when Trump win this election. Niggas don't know it.
Oh, well.
We're going to have to start singing in codes and shit again. Jesus is on the main line. Tell him what you want. Shit. That means we going to talk.
Lord.
Yeah,
there you go, boy. Glory.
The barter around here, you know, Kamar got the herbs and shit. You know, Real got the hooch and wine. I got a homegirl making moonshine. Like, I know some niggas that got some shit to barter. What you got to barter, kid?
Shit, I got a deep freezer full of meat, and ain't nobody getting none of that shit, so that ain't bartering.
What do you have to barter?
I tell y'all what to do. I'm a good supervisor. I line this shit up. I do logistics.
Ain't that what the white folks supposedly gonna be doing?
No, that's you talking about us. Why you including them? And you named off everybody else black. Well, you gotta have a director. Why can't be the West? See, black people know we gotta bring a white dude in to be the director.
I thought you were slaves again.
No, I'm talking about, but underground, you spoke on a network. You talked about bartering and network. So you
want to be the man.
And then you asked me what my skill was. So I'm telling you, I am a supreme organizer. I am an administrator. I can say, okay, let's get our barter system efficient. It can't just be give up whatever. We got to put value. We have to quantify things. All that needs to be put into place. That's what I bring to the table.
That's what you do. Okay. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. And the willingness to bust my gun.
Okay.
That's what I bring. To. And I know how to hunt, fish, and grow food. So, but none of y'all get none of that shit. I'm not bartering with y'all. We gonna have our own shit.
Goddamn gone till you get sick and need some herbs or something. Till you want a little drink or something.
There's a dude named Little Kevin who would be second in command, so he would know how to go and get daddy's hooch.
Oh my God.
He's well trained. He's well trained.
Get the hooch, boy.
Yeah, man. He already know. I gotta go get daddy wine. Well, yeah, I'll be cool. I'll be back in a minute. We'll have it set up. We'll set a network up though, where it'd be in a certain place at a certain time. It's what you call drop-offs and pickups. See, Courtney, that's that old school criminal shit these dudes don't understand now. They just stand on the corner now. We used to make networks like, hey, man. I'm going to go by the garbage can and put my work under 2 garbage bags if they pull up, I ain't got shit on me. Like, if I need to make a pickup, hey man, meet me here, and then we'll go there. We ain't we ain't just loose with it, man. We was real criminals. I don't know if that's good to me, but listen, on to something positive, or is it positive? Y'all tell me. Because we've been asking for solutions in terms of dealing with our youth for a very long time, and I know
them niggas got to fight in the day when they left the wreck. You know what I'm
I
saying?
ain't talking about that. I ain't talking about that. Let me do the positive before you give us the negative.
My bad.
Because this actually involves your guy, Courtney. For years, we've gotten, every time there's an outburst of violence in our city, they've told us that there's this initiative coming for violence prevention and just to curtail the violence, right? And usually there's certain individuals who are all in the background on that news on that press conference or whatever. But now DC Crowley and Milwaukee County are ready to bring in the Advanced Peace Program, right? They have a $2 million grant to operate this program for 3 years. And they're going to take two cohorts of 40 young people who have either been affected by gun violence or have, been involved in gun violence. And they're going to basically give them case management. I'm paraphrasing. They're going to give them case management, meaning they're going to check in. It's supposed to be daily check-ins. And then if you do this, you'll be eligible for this. And I can sign you up for this and internships and all this kind of stuff. And this is a program that's, I guess, in 10 cities now. It is a nonprofit. The brother who actually came up with it, who started it, I guess he's from California. He'll be here. And so this is going to happen. They didn't give a date when it was going to start, as usual. But the money, the grant money has been procured. They're saying they're going to hire individuals who are actually from the streets to do this, to go out and work.
Homeboy Todd on there. Yeah.
Okay, you seen the picture. You know somebody on there.
Well, he posted. Yeah, my homeboy. I mean, he definitely spent a good portion of his life in prison for shooting somebody.
Okay, that gives him credibility right away. Right. Yeah. Okay, you valid.
Yeah.
But I guess my thing is, when I start to be like just kind of sarcastic, is I thought that's what the 414 Life did.
I was just gonna say, don't we have a whole bunch of these groups out here already? But hey, I don't know. I was thinking that, like, don't we have a couple of these things already? But I mean, if they always want to announce it like it's something new, hey, we got something new. It's a new name for a new program, but it's the same shit, just new people. And yeah. So
that leads me to say, then what? Because they changed the name. It's no longer the Office of Violence Prevention. I forget what it's called now. The Committee on Not Doing Shit, or I don't know. I don't want to be sarcastic. I don't know. The Bloodhound Gang. I don't know. You got to be as old as me to remember the Bloodhound Gang. Whenever there's trouble, they're down the double. We're the Bloodhound Gang. Remember that shit, Kamar?
Mm-hmm.
That's 3, 2, 1 Contact, man. You got to be an 80s baby to know about that 3, 2, 1 Contact. But listen, so I was thinking, okay, so now what? Okay, you have this office, whatever the name of it is, and somebody please tell me what the name of it is, because even the Office of African American Affairs county-wise now has changed their name, and the Office of Fairness and Inclusion or some shit like that, or I don't know, but okay. So Courtney just shined light on it and said, well, I thought that there were several organizations doing that right now.
And I think really it was like he was working for an organization, or maybe the organization he was working for, now they just gonna give them a bigger boost and more money. I don't know, because he was already working with somebody and they were doing things like that and traveling, and he'd be working with the youth and the motherfuckers that be going out here getting into shit. But I guess now they're trying to show that they're doing something because they're having cohorts of 40. So now it's like, you can't say we ain't doing nothing. You see these cohorts, we ain't had this before.
No. And listen, and that's understandable, right? But okay, so my thing is, this is county. The county is supporting this, I guess. But I guess the grant was procured by the county, so it's $2 million for 3 years. Okay, so the city, who's governing the office of, or the former Office of Violence Prevention? Okay, Vince Tony. I love my Outlaw family.
I thought that was them.
They ain't gonna let me die on the island. Vince says the Office of Community Wellness and Safety. That is what the Office of Violence Prevention used to be. So, okay, and 414 Life was an arm of that. I know there was a split because at one point the medical college took over. So Reggie Moore and the funding goes through him. But there's a certain portion that was supposed to be going through the city in which Ashanti Hamilton is over. And remember at the time when the money popped up and the mayor said, shit, I didn't even know the money was there. What the fuck we talking about? And because they hadn't spent the money and they owed people money.
Yeah.
All right. Get into the logistics of that. But I'm just saying, so they put this out here, and is it to make us feel good? Because first of all, it's funny that you put this out here instead of talking about the $19 million budget deficit, because I still haven't heard a solution for the $19 million county budget deficit. This coming on the heels of us giving you this or voting and supporting your calls for a tax increase that was supposed to have saved us from a fiscal cliff. Okay, talk. We can get to talking, right? John Fletcher said, "Care that plan is trash. The people need EPU, personal self-defense system, LLC. We had the programs that will work." Okay. Well, but I heard them say, so I'm reading this. I'm reading this article, and they're saying we're gonna show up at the scene of the crime. We're gonna support the family. We're going to get into the community, and we're going to make sure that there's no retaliation. And there's like a bell went off in my head, like ding, ding, ding. Because about 5 years ago, we had the entire Office of Violence Prevention on Outlaw Radio.
All of them.
Reggie Moore, we invited him. He brought like 15 people.
We had the whole gang.
Yeah, everybody. But this is what they were saying they was doing at that time. That's what they were saying, and we were giving up love, saying, okay, if you actually out here on the streets and you're preventing retaliation, then that's cool, and that's very admirable. But that is in itself is not violence prevention. That's violence reaction. You know what I'm saying? Because you're reacting because somebody else people say, well,
violence, you know what I'm saying? We stopping the retaliation, so we are preventing new violence from happening because we there before the retaliation. We're stopping new violence.
So it should be called new violence prevention.
But we prevent violence, though.
This is true. This is true. But then, if that's the case, why they change their name?
So we got new people now. This is a new crew.
But nobody said that office was going anywhere. They're not closed.
Every time we get a new crew, we got to change the name. All right, new team. What y'all think who we should be now? We still the Power Rangers, or we somebody new?
We Voltron, right? Is we Silverhawks? Who is we? We G.I. Joe? We the Autobots? Right.
Time we get a new team.
John Fletcher said, we know the problem. They really don't want to address the issue that the youth need. That's why I call it trash. Without the problems, no one would get money, so they really don't want to stop the problem. Well said, John Fletcher. I think because first of all, don't fool yourself. The answer ain't in new violence prevention. The answer is in job training and economic development and in updating their education. Stop force feeding everybody a liberal arts education. Give these individuals more chances to pursue something vocational. Not everybody wants to fucking go to UWM or Marquette. Well, you do now. You didn't want to when you got out of high school.
No, I
didn't. Vince Tony call them ambulance chasers, right? I don't want to criticize them because once again, I'm a veteran of this because I've seen, like I said, over the years, over and over and over, we've been promised some sort of anti-violence initiative. And this goes all the way back to Bad News Barrett. He would assemble them same 5 Negroes, the 5 heartbeats. I'm not going to say your name. If you there, you there. You get the invite, I don't. And it would always be like, we coming up with this program. And nothing ever materialized from it. It's just like Obama, am I my brother's keeper? Are you your brother's keeper, motherfucker? That shit never fucking materialized. Stop playing. And there was no money in it in the first place, and it was a throw-off. John Fletcher said, how about teaching these kids how to deal with problems, word skills, emotional intelligence? That's what EPU and wellness our way is about. Vince Tony said, John Fletcher, you absolutely nailed it. Word, he said. I mean, if we're gonna listen, I don't. And first of all, let me say, because I made an oath a long time ago that I'm never going to knock another black man down. We fall for the okey doke so much because we just get to banging on each other, and I feel like you can make your point without shitting on the next black man. So if they're really honest and earnest about this effort, and they're saying we're dedicated, we're passionate, it's all good. But my problem is that I don't understand how. Now, will they coexist? How do you divide up the turf? Will they coexist with the office of what you call it, Vince? Hold on, let me go back to I can't remember that for shit. The office of what do you call it? The office of the office of community wellness and safety. Okay, so what's their new thing? What do they have a new mission statement? Because and the only reason most of this is relevant because this is all taxpayer dollars. So people say, "Kev, why the fuck do you care?" Because I'm a taxpayer.
That's right.
And so we need to be talking about. See, I believe in the word audit. I believe that things that these programs that are operating with our money, when we leave them to be for too long, they eventually go foul, like MPS. MPS is a fucking mess. There's no other way to say it. I sometimes I'll be like, well, Kev, don't use profanity. Then I'll be like, fuck that. Because there's no other way to describe MPS from athletics to academics. And that means from A back to A. That means the whole alphabet. Everything broke. Nothing functions correctly. You even battling with even putting resource officers in back in the schools. I was looking today. I used to coach. Actually, I played in the city conference in the 90s. And I used to coach for about 12, 13 years in the city conference. And Bill Mobeck was the athletic director. We never had any problems with paperwork being submitted. Now, they had this young sister who I guess she had been the head coach of the Wisconsin Badgers and the girls team, and she had been in a WNBA or something like that. They had given her the job of athletic director, I'm guessing, because he has been the chief administrator. So to make a long story short, paperwork is their Achilles heel. Shit wasn't submitted, kids suffer.
Mm-hmm.
Same deal with the paperwork and the financials not being submitted, kids suffer. The same thing with, okay, why don't we have Head Start anymore? The paperwork wasn't completed. And so they had a meeting last night, and a school board meeting, and it was just about the proposed closure of schools, right? And so now they're saying they want to close all these schools, or they want to merge some schools.
Not the merge, and I remember when they did that to Marshall, and I remember that. That's when it started.
Well, that was different because that's kind of like them getting double money. They double dipping because you get a
but you
charter.
know what? They actually did that
money
before
to do a
Marshall.
charter school, and why not put the charter school on the third floor of this building where we ain't got kids going to class anyways? This is actually taking Keith Avenue and another school and putting it all together. Like this is not the same school. It ain't like Washington. They tried to make 3 floors, which was a disaster.
Yeah, they started this when I was in middle school. When I was in middle school, I went to a middle school called Global Learning Center, and I remember they put us on the 3rd floor of Andrew Douglas. But it was also, and I was in middle school, but it was also a high school in there. So, and I think we shared the 3rd floor. It was very strange. It didn't.
So when you say Andrew Douglas, which is one of the schools proposed for closure, we call that Parkman. That was initially a middle school. It was from 6th to 8th grade for years. Yeah. And then it became Frederick, or not Frederick Douglass, but Andrew Douglas, who actually was the first principal. And shout out to my guy, Taco Sword, who was actually in middle school when he was there. He said he was a great principal, great black man. But they tried to make it that school. And then, like you said, that fluttered, and they tried to, okay, we're going to do a high school in here. So MPS was experimenting with our kids a lot during that time. Like, it was a lot of, like, we was looking at it like, what the fuck? You muted, Juice Lady.
Sorry, it was middle schoolers and high schoolers. It wasn't just a high school. I was in middle
school. No, I'm
school.
saying they added high school programming because the building was empty. I
But it
like I was
wasn't
there
because we was in there.
before
And
you
Andrew
came.
Douglas
When
was
I
in
when
there.
I worked at Andrew Douglas, it was still just a middle school, and it was hardly no students. So after that, they came in like, okay, we're gonna add high school grades, and I'm pretty sure they did put y'all ass on the third floor.
Well,
But
I
all
wasn't
that
in
used
high
to
school
be,
yet. I went to a different middle school that they added to Andrew Douglas. I went to Global Learning Center
and it was on the third floor, right?
along with the high schoolers. So it was like us
So
middle
what year
schoolers
did
with
you
some
go
other.
there? What year did you go there?
That had to been like 2001.
So
Because I
what
moved
they
there in
were
2000. So like
So what they were
2001.
doing at that time in MPS was we used to have just a straight middle school structure where middle schools were 6th to 8th grade. Webster, Burroughs, Parkman, Morris, Kosciuszko, Audubon, all these schools, right? Jackie Robinson. Then once 2000 hit, MPS started doing that. They started saying, well, we because they were trying to phase middle school out. And so they did start putting, I'm not saying you're lying. They probably did call it global something and put y'all on the third floor of Andrew Douglas, which we knew as Parkman Middle School, is what I'm saying. And in the later years, they start doing all kinds of shit. Hell, I was at Burroughs, I was at Webster, at John Muir, all that shit. John Muir became Northwest High School. I'm like, it's John Muir. And what the fuck is Webster now, Kamar? It's like,
I don't know.
It's Webster now. Yeah.
no, it's like a whole different school. It's a high school now. So that's what I'm saying. But when we were growing up, we were in MPS, that wasn't happening. You was in middle school, you was in middle school. Wasn't no high schoolers in the building. You didn't see high schoolers until you went to high school. Then they started putting all these kids together because they was playing games with us.
Yeah.
Now, John Fletcher said, I'm knocking the system, not the people. My brother's on the front line. Let's go. My battle is against the system of how things are done and what they spend money on. Vince said I walked out of that fucking meeting last night.
Yeah, like it was some trouble going in that meeting.
Well, they didn't allow people to. They didn't allow the public to talk, to speak. They said they didn't have time for that shit. We said the firm they hired don't know shit about Milwaukee. Yeah, they hired this firm. Shout out to Miss Beverly Williams. They hired this firm. I guess they're from California. And Beverly, on your heels, she got the breakdown of the company. 51% white, like 12%. The consultants that they sent, none of them are black. In a school system that's what, 85% black?
Right.
In a city that's 40% black? I mean, like I said, MPS is a fucking mess. You talking about oversight after oversight after misappropriation after misappropriation. I'm like, well, how do you even write this boat? I think because what we're not talking about is MPS has a very deep investment in charter schools themselves. There's a bunch of charter schools that they run. And my thing was when they first started doing the charter schools was you're taking away from the neighborhood schools. Why would you take away when they need more? We got rid of shop and then y'all made a whole nother school. But shouldn't you have just left shop in the goddamn school? Right? Like, so yeah, MPS, man. Come on, man. Y'all. Oh my God. And we don't I don't go to school board meetings. Both of my kids out of school. You know what I'm saying? My son didn't even finish in MPS. I took him out of MPS. I couldn't do it to him. Right?
I know, that's right.
Yeah, I couldn't do it
I'm
to
going
him.
to get my son this weekend. I'm bringing him back. Just to let y'all know.
Is he transferring back or you just bringing him back for a visit?
No, he's transferring back. You know, sometimes a mother just got to do it all. Sometimes.
Damn. So
sometimes. So I got to go get my little woe, bring him back. Yeah, he about done, though. He's supposed to be done in December. Hopefully, he can still be done in December. And yeah, I'm going to go get him.
So he's gonna get his diploma in December.
I know he'll be done with his credits. I don't know if he's gonna graduate in December or if they still make him wait till May. So when we go back to the school and talk to him, we'll find all that out.
Wow, shit. What was he down there? 3 months?
Yeah, what it would go the end of July? Yeah, man.
Yeah, I got my son. He's like, Dad, you got to come up here for one more game, and I'm gonna figure it out. I think I'm gonna catch his last one up there. So you know, I man, but he been showing out. I'm just really like, dude, like for real. he been clowning, man. And I know He's saying, Dad, this stage ain't big enough for me. I need a bigger stage. It's just hilarious talking to him. It's like, his dad, they don't have anybody here who can cover me. I'm like, Kevin, you gotta wait to try. You don't understand, Dad. There's nobody here can cover me. But like I said, he's averaging 35 yards a catch. So every time they throw him the ball, it's like, I'm like, man, just keep doing what you do, man. But yeah, I wouldn't let him go to MPS. Courtney, do you have an idea of what school you're going to put your boy in when he get back here?
Oh, he's going back to the private all-boys school he was at. He's going to finish it up at Kingdom Prep, at the Kingdom, as I call it.
Oh, they're going to be pissed at him. Like, how you going to leave for the whole season and then come back? Oh, man. I'm surprised they probably jumped Little Dog. Like, what you doing, man? What you doing back here? You abandoned us. You're supposed to be a quarterback, man. Oh, man, get him
but I asked him that. We had that talk. I'm like, do you feel like you should have stayed, or seeing that how your season went, you didn't get as much time as you thought you was gonna get going to Georgia, or would you have rather stayed here, even though all the good players on the team had graduated? So really, the only good player left was him. So they had a sucky ass season anyway. But he would have got more playing time and footage, but it still would have been a whack ass season. He's like, I enjoyed this experience. So, as long as he enjoyed the experience and the ride, that's what life is about anyway. Just enjoying this little punk, I was gonna say this punk ass journey. It's not a punk ass journey, but enjoying the journey that we on.
Yeah, when you ball though, you gotta have that footage. You gotta have that film. So even if you're on the suck ass team, you gotta have that film. That's what helped. My son his team was hot garbage. My guy Mike called it dumpster fire, but he had enough video, and that's what I kept telling him in the beginning of the years. Like, look, okay, the team sucks. Y'all probably ain't gonna win a game. And he was looking at me like, what? I'm like, what's important is for you to get video. So every game, I need for you to make at least 5 plays. And he did that every game, and he got recruited, and he was able to, play on the next level. So you gotta get that video. Gotta get that video.
So that's what I'm worried about with the senior year. He thinking college and football, and I'm like, you ain't got no footage as far as your senior year, my G. But for him, he's really smart. So if it ain't a football scholarship, I really feel like it's academic. So
the world need plumbers. Don't worry about that shit. Look, hey.
No, you know how they be about football. They want it. They just want to play football. Want to go to the NFL. You know how they be. They just
yeah.
I'm like, everybody want to go to the NFL. God damn it. You ain't. They all y'all.
Newsflash.
Like,
hey, man.
You know what I'm saying?
The world needs electricians.
Right, we're gonna get this engineering degree. Come on now, do something.
Yeah, go ahead. But you know what? If the passion is there, there's still a path that can be explored. It's never over, right?
Right.
True.
It ain't over till it's over. When he decides, okay, I'm done with that, then it's over. But if he say, no, I really still want to play, there's a lot of opportunities for him to still go and play. Like, you can go JUCO. You can do a lot of things, and you go to prep school. It's way more options than we had, because when we came out, it was like, nobody signed you. All right, see you at Capitol Court, because that's where your ass gonna be working in Dunham's. Talking about, what up, Kamar?
Damn.
Shout out to you if you worked at Dunham's back in the day. But yeah, man, listen. The main point of this broadcast is, like I said, it's my birthday weekend, and we're gonna be off Monday. And so I really want to say everything that I could possibly say about this election that's coming up next week. And some of y'all have already voted, and I understand that.
Woo!
But first of all, let me say this: if you voted and you are passionate, if you're really mobilized behind this, and now you're starting to see, hey, I need to voice my opinion in this political shit. Don't stop voting here, because we have a midterm election coming up. And see, that's what, whoever you put into the White House, that's really what tells the tale, because then you're going to give them a Senate that they can work with, right? And so they're going to deal with a Congress they can work with. So you really need to understand, that's what I'm saying. The system is made of checks and balances. And so that no president comes in with absolute power, or like everybody get the fuck out on the first day. Like, it's checks and balances, and it's laws. And so you really have to be proactive. Now, if you think it doesn't affect you, Look at how much money you got. Look at where you live at. Look at the laws. Look at the regulatory laws. Look at inflation. Look at the cost of living. All these things, whether you like it or not, are governed and are dictated by our government. Like you can say it don't matter. Don't these world trade agreements, these Supreme Court decisions. Like we look at Trump, how he was able to just glide past. I mean, first of all, he has 34 felonies. Ain't nobody still told me what's gonna happen with the 34 felonies. They tried to pass a law that dismissed them in the other state and said were these official acts of the president. But the reality is he was already convicted at that time of those 34 in Georgia. So what happens if he wins the election? Do you say, okay, well, you ain't got to worry about that no more? Because then my suggestion to any and everybody who has felony charges is to say they running for president. That'll help you beat your case. Just say you're running for president. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot on the line. I know, like, people think this shit ain't got shit to do with me and yada, 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 and boom, boom, boom. But it does, man. It does, especially if you square it up. I'm squared up. I ain't living off the block no more. I ain't living on some hood shit. I need a 501k. I need retirement and shit. I'm gonna need Social Security and shit. I need for this system to be straight. What's going on?
Now, can you tell me about the Electoral College again? Can you break that down again? Because a lot of times voting, it really just feels like a survey. Like, you know what I'm saying? Who you want for president? Oh, okay. We were just asking. We didn't really care. We won't. It feels like a survey sometimes. So can you break that down about that?
If we talk about the Electoral College, basically it's something that was established to help white men hold on to the balance of power that they had in this country. And you got to understand when it was written, the country, most of the population of this country lived in the East. I don't even think we hadn't even expanded west yet, right? Like, so as people started to go west and other states became populated, they wanted to say, well, we need to make sure we're of equal representation, because obviously you have more citizens than us and you could just, outvote us and we don't even have a voice. So you give delegates to each state. Supposedly, this is what it's supposed to be. To say, okay, you can win a state with a smaller population, but it has more delegates in the Electoral College, so their vote actually matters. Now, it became more and more racist when the fact that the South had all these slaves, and they were saying, well, shit, and we talking about population, we'll just let we'll tell these niggers how to vote, and we can win any election. So they said, no, y'all ain't gonna be able to do that because we ain't gonna let y'all count the slaves. That started the whole thing on how much a slave is. How if you're a slave, how much of your citizenship, what is 9/10 of a man, whatever the fuck it was. Mm-hmm. So basically, it's an outdated concept that needs to be updated. Now, when we talk about the popular vote, we know we did the research. I think in the last 30 years, the Electoral College has decided our presidency twice and 3 times in like hundreds of years. So there's a possibility that the popular vote might not win. That is there. But it then becomes on the responsibility of those who live in these swing states, to have more delegates to say, no, we gotta vote. We have to vote because we can sway the election with our votes. So you know what? I'm not here to defend the Electoral College. I think it's fucked up. I think it's something that does feel at times like my vote is useless, but I don't believe it is, because the popular vote does count. Now, if she wins by 5 million votes and the Electoral College comes in and says, no, Trump wins, we're going to have a problem. When we look at Bush, the election was very close. It was very, very close. And it came out that Hillary, she lost to Trump. I mean, who was running against Bush? Kerry? Who was running against him?
I think Kerry. You're right.
Yeah. He didn't win the states with the most delegates, because if you watch during the election, they're going to say, what is it, 270 electoral votes to win, no matter what everything else says. Whoever gets the 270 electoral votes wins the election. I think it's 270. Y'all keep me on my shit. But that's the Electoral College. I wouldn't say don't vote because of the Electoral College. Like I said, I mean, I think we've gotten past black people only being 1/5 of a man. Now our vote actually fucking counts. So if you black and you in them swing states like Wisconsin, it's more important for you to vote. You know what I'm saying? Ohio, Michigan, these are important states.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
What color does the state turn if we all vote for Dr. Cornel West? What color do we become then?
Purple? I don't know.
Just wondering if you know.
I don't know. I don't know the party because he switched parties. So I don't know what color his party is. I don't know what color what would you call that? You know,
brown.
Right. They could call it anything. That's a gray state. We don't know. Vince said the community don't educate our people on the importance of local elections. That's how Congress is stacked. Will dictate our outcome locally and nationally. If you control the House and the Senate, we fuck. If they control the House and the Senate, we fuck. You're right, Vince. Like what he's saying is that's why it's all a big kind of puzzle. Local voting and leads to, national voting, leads to the midterm elections. You have to, you got to put people in place that are going to speak for your best interests. And like I said, a lot of us are going to vote for a president, but we won't go vote for the midterms. We don't know who our congressman is. We don't know who our senator is. We don't know who our state representative is. A lot of us don't even know who our alderman is. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't even know who my alderman is because I've never seen him. I've never seen my alderman.
My last name Jackson.
Okay. I had to look. I looked mine up at one point. I knew, but I've never seen, like, they've never come through the neighborhood. Even when they ran, whoever it was, I don't know if there was signs.
I think it's DeAndre Jackson. I think something like that. I forget.
See, so we got to familiarize ourselves with this shit, man. If we really gonna do it, Kamar, or else, like I said, so moving forward, our thing is if you're not black and you don't have a black agenda, you're not getting our vote. If that's how we moving, I'm with that shit. That's what we need to be on. But we need to keep it there we keep the same energy for every candidate. You know what I'm saying? We can't pick on one.
Right.
It got to go for everybody. So don't start this shit overnight. I'm saying there's organizing that needs to be done. Political action committees. There's ways we can sharpen our weapon, man, and make our voice more effective. We have to invest in that. Like all these problems we talking about with the school board. Y'all do know we elect those the people on the school board, those are elected officials. And they are supposedly the ones who govern MPS. Now, there was a demand by Ms. Beverly Williams and her organization. They tried to recall these individuals. It failed. But that's where the control needs to start at. Like, okay, we got to get people on the school board who are people who are qualified to be on a school board, not just to add I'm important because I'm on the school board. Yeah, but you don't know shit about public education and policy. What do you know about curriculum? Obviously, you didn't know nothing about financing because this shit happened under your watch. You know what I'm saying? You got a bunch of people with names that just sit on committees here. That's why shit don't get done. Who's on your board of directors? It's the same old Mac Negroes. It's the same Negroes, right? And you be like, well, damn, why shit never happens? Because nobody on that board is there to be a contributor to change. It's like, oh man, we the board. Oh, I'm sitting on their board. Let's cater some food, Kamar, and have
they doing it for the gram.
That kind of shit, it just adds to your resume because that's influence, and that leads to you basically getting appointed for some other positions. I served on the school board for 8 years, but what did you do?
They hold these positions for the gram.
It seems that way when we look at, like, right now with Common Council, they're arguing about the flag. What's the new city flag? Right? Like, once again, I asked this question. If we have multiple organizations who are supposed to be violence preventers or violence interrupters or violence, whatever you want to call them, why is the city still hyper violent? They would come back at me and say, well, Kevin, actually, crime is down as opposed to the last few years, but it's still not where it was pre-pandemic. You understand me? Like, so, and we don't talk about the turkey. Let's discuss the whole bird. Don't break your arm patting yourself on the back. Because what I understand is there's ways to juke stats. Similar to what our former police chief did. And it was funny. And once again, it's something we talked about on the show. I can't even, what was it? What was his name? Areola? What was the former Ed? No, what was Ed? What was he call him? I can't remember his name. And he came in with his logistical, statistical policing methods. And remember the first year he came, he was Ed Flynn. Yeah. Ed Flynn was the police chief. Him and Baird, they stood together at a press conference and said, we fucking lowered crime. Look at the increases. But when you looked at what they actually did, they juked the stats because they hiked up minor offenses, right? They hiked those up. They made more arrests for that. So it's like, okay, we're making more arrests. We got a higher conviction rate. Yeah, but they're for minor affairs. You're not solving murders. You're not solving homicides. You're not stopping violent crimes. You just arrested more people for smaller affairs. And people was like, yay. And then they found out later and the feds came in and said, actually, that's a lie. Y'all think I'm bullshitting? Look this up. The feds came and said, nah, man, y'all on some bullshit. Nobody said that. Black Milwaukee wasn't upset. You know, and Flynn got the fuck up out of here. Like, man. Once the cover was pulled back and people said, oh, hell no. This some bullshit. You ain't really done nothing. He was like, I'm out of here. Fuck y'all. It's like Darian Driver.
What they all do.
Right. Just like I was just going to say, Darian Driver, who was over the school board. She was like, shit, I'm out of here. And then they brought in Gregory Thornton. He didn't even get a crib here. He stayed in the hotel.
Well, give me a couple of paychecks and I'm out of here.
That boy stayed at the Mosey Wozy. He got the fuck up out of here. He's like, this is some bullshit, man. So yeah, man, they are famous. They're famous. Look at the mayor. Years of bullshit. And then he becomes an ambassador. And we got this mayor now. And he said, well, the main thing I did was I've saved the city from a fiscal cliff. You just did your budget. 51% of the city of Milwaukee's budget is going to policing, to the police department.
That's horrible. That crime is at an all-time high, all at the same time.
Exactly. And now keep in mind, Kamar, like you just said, there's 51% of the budget going to crime or going to the law enforcement, but they're saying we're overwhelmed. We don't have enough cops. We can't do shit.
They're getting an all-time high pay. And it's all-time high crime out here at the same damn time.
They're also under the microscope, Kamar, because one of the conditions, once again, we start talking about, yeah, you saved the city from a fiscal cliff, but what did you actually sign the city up for? When we start talking about the right to do anything DEI-wise, to talk about any kind of, like you threatening to take Black history programs out of elementary school, this is the kind of shit you signed up for. And you also committed that we would have a certain amount of police within a certain time or face penalties. They're behind on it. You know why? Because they have a recruitment problem in the city. People don't want to be cops. They don't want to be cops. Shout out to all the cops. I feel like it's a good way to get paid if you got that temperament. You know what I mean? And I'm not all the way one way or the other. No. I've known some brothers who was cops, who was good dudes. I'm not going to even lie to you.
Right.
I've met some terrible ass cops too. I've encountered, and you know, the crazy part is I've encountered more crazy ass Black cops than I've encountered white cops. Like usually the white boy is like, yeah, well, you know, it's, and the Black dude, hey man, what the fuck you say? Like he bro, like going out. You Brody, bro, what's going on, man? Yeah, like so you know. This shit is just like a sewage mix in the city. And it's a lot of complicated problems. But we got to get away from this cronyism. Like for too long, we allow certain Black people to become gatekeepers. So they are the ones, like right now, who's the latest and greatest voice? Nobody, because the gatekeepers are still I'm keeping it 100.
No, I just like the way you answered your question. Nobody.
Nobody. Where's the fresh voice at?
I don't need nobody to call in and answer the question. Nobody. Straight up.
You could try. I mean, you could call in and say, Kev, no, this is the person who I'm listening to now, the person that I'm watching. But what I'm telling you is when it comes to any kind of influence or really, I don't want to say power because power is kind of like an overused word, Kamar, and I wouldn't, but I would say influence. Let's just say influence, the ability to get things done. It's those same people who are appointed by white people. There's no room for no new energy because those black gatekeepers holding on to what they got. You know who you are. You know who you are. Yeah. And you know who the white person is who presses your button, who puts the battery in your back.
You're just a pawn of white slavery.
You a pawn of something.
A pawn of slavery. I mean, or white supremacy, I mean.
Well, you control you're in the system, Kamar. You're a part of the system.
You're a pawn.
Yeah, you part of yeah. Just pieces on the chessboard.
This we want you to do, nigga.
Yeah. and so
do it.
Like we talk about this city being a city of silos. Once again, shout out to everybody who is on the front lines, working in this community, trying to do anything. And we all work for different organizations, and we all have different agendas, right? And shout out to anybody who's on the front lines doing that work. But more often than not, administratively, there's a puppet. There's a puppet with a hand up his or her ass. And you on the front lines can a lot of times see where, hold on, this shit ain't what the fuck is we doing? Because it's once again the ventriloquism. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying it's time for new leadership. It's time for new voices. It's time for us to kind of push the OG gatekeepers aside because the city is turned into shit under your watch. Vince, you're absolutely right. Nation Consulting. A lot of people don't know who Nation Consulting is because they don't know about lobbyists. They don't know about special interest groups. When you're talking about people who hold positions, their contributors, the people who contributed to their campaign is public information. You can go and look it up. And I think some of y'all would be surprised by who funds some of our black leaders. I don't want nobody to see you hear. In a city where the NAACP does nothing, the Urban League has some programming, but what do they do? I'm just saying, we're talking about affecting change. I'm not talking about a bunch of uppity elitist Negroes getting together wearing tuxedos, patting themselves on the back for programs they've created in the city. Because the fact of the matter is our kids are behind the 8 ball in every statistic. Our reading and math levels are lower than everybody else's. Our incarceration rates are higher than everybody else's. Our communities are trash in terms of what's in the community because there's no economic investment in our communities. We just talked about giving a police department 50% of the budget, and they can't even protect us in our communities. They tell us they're overwhelmed. They tell us it ain't nothing they can do. Right? So why is anybody getting an award for anything? Why the fuck are we having, unless we doing it to raise money? Fundraising, come on, please contribute. Right. Where's that money going?
Right.
It's what they call administrative costs. Because we got to pay somebody to govern the grant, right? So he needs a secretary. You know, so it becomes an industry and it becomes a commodity. It's not something that's okay. I'm doing this out of, to really affect change in the community. It's like, nah, on to the next grant. Because now, do you think 3 years and $2 million in terms of a grant is enough to curb violence on the north side of Milwaukee? Just the north side. You think that's enough?
Nah. Not even.
First of all, you got to have an office. The goddamn rent going to be $3,000 a month. How long that $2 million going to last when you add staffing in? Right. Administrative costs. We're gonna work with these boys and they'll get to take trips. They're gonna send them on trips. Now, let me say this too. If one black kid gets in this program and takes a trip and it changes his or her life, and then they're able to come back and say, no, this helped me. That's a great thing. That's a great thing. But we're talking about one kid out of how many young black kids we have in this community that are headed in the wrong direction right now. What they say, trending in the wrong direction. Right? So my thing is, once again, this is a grant that they went out and found. Oh shit, we got $2 million. And it seems like, oh, Kamar, we got $2 million. Now, if they gave me and you $2 million to run a campaign, we'd be like, oh shit, we can do this.
Straight up.
But you know what? We're gonna have to run it ourselves. Because if we start hiring people,
that's where it go bad at.
Just to get flyers printed.
When you start putting money in people's hands, that's where it start going bad.
You got to answer the phone. You got to,
right.
You know what I mean? Like we be at the end of year one, like, damn, kid, we got $50. We done took these boys. You got 2 cohorts of 40 boys. Say you take 20 out of one cohort on a trip out of town to go to a convention or whatever. 20, hotel, airfare, food. That's a cool $200,000. And that's half of one cohort. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully what will happen is there'll be more people to invest and put money behind this, because I do think there is something to really going to grab a lot of these kids who are involved saying, let me give you something different. But I don't think we should be giving them anything except for job skills and employment opportunities.
Right.
I don't have no free trip for you, son. I'm not giving you no t-shirt. You know what I got for you? You can get in this class and learn how to operate this motherfucking machine, and then you can get a job out of high school where you can make some money.
Right.
That's my offer to you. I ain't got no scholarship for you, none of that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start a program over here that can help you get to here. And I'm going to go to those people and hold them accountable to say, why y'all ain't hiring no young brothers? You know what I'm saying? Now, it's my job to make sure they're hiring you. It's my job to make sure the program that prepares you is thorough. I'm not giving you shit. I'm not giving you fish. I'm teaching you how to fish, basically. And so, you know, I just let me see. Well, there's the working family party too, Vince. That's another thing I keep saying. Why we don't have black lobbyists? Where's the black special interest groups? Let's get them on board. Well, instead of crying about the game, let's play the game. Let's do what they do. Let's grease some politicians. Let's make moves instead of doing cronyism. Instead of saying, well, I got to give my frat brother's son a chance, even though he got the fucking IQ of a rock. And then you wonder why the system failed. I mean, I watched 1290 over the years. The first time I ever really decided I wanted to be on the radio, I was in the 7th grade. We went on a field trip to 1290. Remember it was on Capitol?
Yeah.
And we walked around. We went in the studio. They let us talk and say our names on the radio. I was looking around like, this is the coolest shit I've ever seen in my life. This is what I want to do. Right. I went and got a bachelor's degree in radio and television. I came home. I used to send emails. I used to make a point every day to send them an email and say, listen, I'll be an intern. Just let me come to the station. Nobody knew me. I wasn't anybody's frat brother's son. None of that. I never got a call. You know what I seen? I seen an article one day in the paper that said the day was closing. They had the same motherfuckers on there for 40 years. Like, dude, there's no room for new energy, no new voices. There's a couple other radio stations. I'm not going to make it personal because I'm not going to say their name on here, but y'all will see them. We'll talk about them when they close, right? Vince Tony said Chris ably donated to Andrea Pratt's campaign, my alderwoman. I'm sure a lot of people did, having that name. Now, her father, I'm sure he guaranteed her some favors. I mean, come on, man. Marvin Pratt's big. In Milwaukee, I grew up across the alley from him. Marvin Pratt was really that dude in our neighborhood. We all knew who our alderman was. He'd be walking around. I've been in spots, right? We talking about, little spots, Kamar. Spots, mm-hmm. We used to call them. In the neighborhood. Popping. Right. We popping hard. Dude would walk up Hey, brothers, how y'all doing? We sitting out there, we kicking. I don't care what you smoking, you doing. Hey, how y'all doing? You say, hey, man, what's going on? Hey, I'm the alderman. Yeah, you know, a lot of stuff, a lot of activity going on over here. He would say it in a way to let you know y'all hot.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And if you stayed there, you got raided. And we always be like, shit, when Pratt show up, it's time to move around, bro. Right in our neighborhood. So I'm just saying, his name means something. So yeah, I'm sure she's getting a lot of favors. That's nepotism. That ain't cronyism. That's LeBron James and his son. Which is funny that people are mad that man got his son. Like, why you mad? Like,
that's what he's supposed to do.
Yeah, that's what white men do.
That's what the fuck he was supposed to do. But you know, that's something that black people don't think about. No, they don't even think about that. They don't think about, like, once you had kids, the reason why you here is for them kids. You know what I mean? It's your job to make them kids' life easier. It's your job to help them get where they want to be. Bottom line.
Any opportunity that I can give you because of what I've done, I'm giving it to you.
However, I got to do it.
Yeah.
Whatever leverage. Hopefully, I can use my leverage to do that.
Right. That's why I'm doing it.
Right. That's legacy, man.
Yeah, right. That's legacy. Mama Jenkins said they just got another gang of men that know nothing about this city to stop the violence. They got 2 million and more coming. I never heard of these guys. I don't want to doubt nobody's pedigree that's in the streets. I don't know these dudes. I don't know. I don't know anybody now, though. I don't know any street dudes now. I mean, I know the old dudes. I don't know none of them now. But I looked at the press conference. I was kind of like, well, who? Wait, who? Because once again, in my mind, I keep saying, well, don't we already got somebody who does this? I didn't know 414 Life broke up. I'm talking about them like their rap group. I didn't know they broke up. Mama Jenkins said, who was that man and where did he come from? When he was speaking, he sounded like Sergeant Carter from the Gomer Pyle episodes. He's from California, I believe. I should have his name. Vince, what's his name? I gotta ask Vince because I didn't write it down. I was poor note keeping on my part. He said, "Care that $2 million would be more beneficial towards educating teens and young adults to the trades." Or what about Vince taking that $2 million and investing it into helping these young parents? See, we wondering why our kids are in the flux that they're in is because a lot of them are coming from families that they're the offspring of two very young people.
Right.
And I don't care what you say. If you a parent at 16, 17, and you in the hood, 18, you got hell to take to the cat. It's an uphill climb, Kamar. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like I've said this many times on this show. I became a parent for the first time at 26 years old. And I still had to learn how to do it. You feel me?
Yeah.
So I could if I'd have been 16, I would be just trying to repair the relationship with my kids.
That's all of us. We never know. You would never know the perfect way to do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You would never know it.
But at 16 or 17, I didn't have the selflessness in me to be a parent.
Right. Yeah.
See, that's the one thing about being a parent is you have to be selfless and be willing to make sacrifices to say, look, she or he can eat and I won't eat. And you 16, 17, you like, shit, I'm not going to be hungry. Right. We ain't got no more cheese. Like, it's just like, you just selfish. I got a caller on the line. I believe this is the agitator himself. What's going on, man?
What's up, Kev? Hey, I had to call in on that note that you just made about the families. You can take everything that I said about the trades away if they can take that money and get into these households. I think, you and I have both been in social services, and I've been deep into it with child protective services and how these systems in this city have ruined families. And nothing's going to change in this city until we start getting to these mothers and these young adults who's having kids and teach them how to parent. They don't know how to parent. When they have a baby at 12 and 13 years old, their parents, who are probably 28, 29 years old, have had enough, because now they're trying to actually live their teenage years because they were stuck raising a baby. Until we can address that issue of the family, and everything about this city that I'm aware of started with breaking up the family. I mean, I went to 3 different schools in the general vicinity of each other, And the one thing that they did is that I went to 12th Street, Robert Post in the North Division. And when I came back here, they had closed 12th Street School. And 12th Street School is the foundation of education. It was our foundation for education because it gave us everything that we needed to go to the next level. When you cut out a school like that and you cut off education, now you've got parents scrambling to figure out where they're going to send their kids. And we were sending our kids all over the place, and nobody really got a formal education, the basics, to be able to go to the next level. And it's evident today when we look at Keith Avenue Street School, which I volunteered for, and these kids, they can't read, they can't write, they can't spell their last names. And then you go to North Division, and these are the kids that are going to be populating these other schools. And the main reason why we have such a high dropout rate, because why would I go to the next level when I can't even read or write? It's a tragedy in this city, and nobody's addressing the education factor of our kids. And I think it's going to be the demise of our culture. And what they're talking about at the school board last night is evidence of that. Merging these schools. I mean, imagine and was Daryl Jackson, asked one of the consultants a question about schools. Well, how are you going to stop the violence? He mentioned the violence prevention, which if he'd have done his homework, he'd know that violence prevention doesn't exist anymore. But his point is that who's going to go into these schools and stop these rivalries? Because when you start merging schools, you got, for lack of a better word, you got gangs at all of these different schools, and you merge two schools that have gangs, you create a problem in and of itself, and it's a war. So who's going to be there to break up these fights and everything else that goes on? It's going to get worse.
I agree, Vince. But even when I start talking about young parents, because the one thing we don't really speak about is in terms of black babies in Milwaukee, we have one of the highest infant mortality rates in the country. I believe they used to say it was on par with third world countries. So that would tell me even prenatal care for these babies, right? Like, it's not happening. When we start talking about nourishment, right? Like, parents, a lot of young parents don't understand some of the stuff you're feeding your child is not good for them, right? Like, so we live in this generation of everything is processed food and is high fructose corn syrup and these dyes and all this kind of stuff. And don't get me wrong, I'm with a kid being able to eat a little junk food every now and then, but his or her diet can't be built on flaming hot chips and fish sticks and pizza puffs and Big Macs. And like, so you gotta at one point start forcing your child to eat fruit and vegetables. That stuff is crucial to brain development. That
exactly. And I think
from a very young age. So I'm sorry, I'm not trying to cut you off. I'm just saying, when I start talking about young parents, like, and so I want young fathers. You get a young lady pregnant at 17 and you get in this program, and I say, listen, the next few years of your life is going to be crucial. So I'm going to put you on an educational path. Okay, where you go to school at? Well, I go to Vincent, but I don't hardly go. I got a point A. I will check this out. I'm going to put you down at MATC in adult high school, because I actually was the program coordinator for the Emerging Scholars, in which they had a contract with MPS, and they took kids who were basically aged out of MPS. So you 17 in the 10th grade. Now we're going to take you down to the adult college and fast track you and get you a high school diploma, but you're going to take these classes, right? We're just going to trim the fat. You ain't no student that's going, hanging around homecoming and just kicking it at you 17 and you still a sophomore. You're going to go to English, you're going to go to math, you're going to go to science, fulfill your requirements. And then after that, you say, now we're going to put you in employment a program so you can get employment. But at the same time, we have to say, okay, now you understand that you owe for this child's birth, right? Because you didn't have a job, and that a lot of young fathers don't know, if there's no insurance, they're the ones who get charged for the birth. They find out later on, like, what? I owe the county. What the fuck you talking about? You the adjudicated father in court. So you're responsible for the birth costs. You got child support and birthing costs. So see
I'm
that
a witness to that.
so that's what I'm saying. So we go to them early in there and say, okay, well, listen, before we get off track. And the main thing, what you want is just like they talk about with when they talk about people coming home from the joint, right? And they talk about, you know, you want to help people who come. What you're trying to prevent is recidivism because you don't want them to offend again. So it's almost like sexual recidivism. We don't want you to have no other baby because you ain't really ready. You don't have the money. You ain't educated, bruh. You want to prevent it as opposed to him having 5. By the time he get 4, 5 kids by 4, 5 women, he's so in debt with child support, he's not gonna work a job. He like, fuck this.
Yeah, when I came back to Milwaukee, I left Milwaukee. You know, evidently I had, you know, not evidently, but I had sex with a female, and shit, she put somebody else on the birth certificate. And when I came back here, my kid was 13 years old, and I went down there and took blood tests because he was acting, you know, getting out of order with his mother. And I said, well, let me see. So 99.9% Kev, shit, they made me pay back $15,000 in back child support, but my kid came to live with me.
I mean, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, so kids don't even know. They don't even know that this is what they up against. These young boys, they don't know that that's what they up against. They think, oh, my baby mama, and these young ladies, they're giving concessions because look, once these young ladies get into these county benefits, there's so many programs where she can go in, she can become a LPN or RPN. She's getting money, right? All of a sudden, you finally coming home from prison after you done 5 on the dope case in which you was taking care of everything, but now she don't need you no more. Somebody need to turn it down. I'm getting an echo. So that's another thing too that separates them because now he come home like, man, she ain't trying to hear me. She just like, dude, I've moved on from that. I'm not even on that no more. I don't want you here now. I don't need you. I'm a registered nurse now. I don't need you. Get the fuck on. He goes with another girl and has another baby. It's just a fucking deadly, just fucking tremendously horrible cycle. Dion, you tuning in. Make sure your device is turned down. What's going on, man?
I ain't got nothing up. I don't know where that echo coming from. The tablet ain't even off. I don't know what to tell you. What's happening with you though, man? I wanted to call in earlier because you know I heard y'all talking politics, but you know you held your own, man. You know sometimes I gotta come in, you know, give you a little, you know, get motherfuckers 1-2 for you, man. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, but we ain't had none of the naysayers. You know, I reported a motherfucker in the People's Network earlier. They ass got banned too. I sure reported them.
Wait, hold on. Wait a damn minute.
That nigga is snitch.
You just know a week ago you said you're a criminal. You live by the criminalistic code.
Now you snitching.
Somebody you snitching on somebody on Facebook. What's going on, man?
No, because they had some shit up with communism. And they had the Democrats, and I'm like, you know, it's just stop the misinformation, man. The Democrats and communism, and they had the SWAT sticker, and they had the merit. That them two things is totally different. Don't do that. Don't misinform the people. I'm still looking for. Did you check out that BET summit they had? It was on. I ain't got a chance to see it. It's on YouTube yet. I'll probably check it out tonight when I go home. That'll probably when I'll just fall asleep checking out and shit. But you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of the people on there, you know what I'm saying? They was just talking about how at first they weren't sold on Kamala, but they did their research. So, you know, like, I don't know, the one nigga that be with Shabaka named Jesse, whatever, and he be talking about, you know, she locked up all these people, but I want them to produce receipts because, yeah, it probably was thousands of cases that she prosecuted, but out those thousands, she only locked up 45 people. You know what I'm saying? Out of, you know, everybody getting caught with marijuana. And she was a head figure in the legalization of marijuana in the state of California. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, like...
Oh, I'm voting for her.
What Bull say? What Bull say?
I said, oh, I'm voting for her.
Yeah, but...
legalize weed. Oh.
Sometimes you... And she's talking about it now. That's what she want to do, decriminalize it. You know what I'm saying? On a broader scale, you know? It was I think a governor in Maryland. It was one of those East Coast states where he pardoned everybody. He pardoned everybody that had a marijuana case. You know what I'm saying? Like motherfuckers had them little petty ass marijuana cases, you know. But sometimes, you know, before motherfuckers just jump out here, we just got to do the research, you know. And then they was talking about the tariffs that Donald Trump, you know, and there's a lot of big corporations like, hey, we not gonna foot the bill. The consumer is. Like the CEO of AutoZone, the CEO of Columbia Sports. You know, I wear Columbia gear. You know what I'm saying? So when you got these old stupid ass, ignorant ass people, well, Trump made it better, and I want his cock in my mouth.
Oh
You know
my
what I'm
God!
saying? Like,
Oh my God!
I'm just because that's how they be sounding though. You know, he's for America. He this that and other. So I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So I just don't know. But when motherfuckers, them Pell Grants and shit be getting cut and all this shit, you know, I don't know what to say. But other than that, you know, I was listening to you because my daughter mama had called and she talked my motherfucking ear off. She ain't talking about paying me my motherfucking money back how long that she talking my ear off. I'm like, damn, I gotta call my guy, and I lost motherfucking train of thought of what y'all was talking about and shit. And next thing I know, y'all talking about MPS and shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I work for MPS though. But
Hold on. Let me ask you a question. What they're
Mhm.
saying is now with this new proposed budget that's supposed to be coming out that they're going to submit in November. They're talking about cutting teachers. They're talking about cutting social workers. They're talking about cutting paras, and there's some talk that they're going to cut food service workers. So I don't know if you had caught wind of that, and I don't know if your principal is communicating to y'all that.
Yeah, I ain't heard nothing like that though.
Yeah,
I ain't heard nothing like that.
Yeah.
But I'm putting in the application for another position there too, though. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I ain't heard nothing. But you know, shit, it be what it be, and it is what it is. You know, I mean, somehow MPS, you know, and this, you know, this a problem. This a problem probably been going on maybe about 5 or 6 years. That's why it's so out of control, and they don't know what to do with it. But you know, the thing, what I don't like about shit is just say, listen, the shit is out of control. We don't know what to do with it. We need to call in some outside auditors to get together. Because if you motherfuckers can't do it, y'all need somebody to be able to come in there and do it to get that shit straight for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because it seems like y'all can't do it. And you know, y'all steadily talking about cutting, merging schools and shit. Now, one guy, he had called a radio station there, and it kind of made sense. Like, if a school that could hold 1,100 students, but it only got 300 in there, why not take this and put them with another school, merge it? But then, like when Vince was saying, though, and the gentleman did bring it up too earlier that was talking on the radio, I don't know how deep the gang shit is in Milwaukee, so I don't know. But, you know, one clique from a different clique, these niggas from a different clique, you know what I'm saying?
So Dion,
you know, I don't.
So the way my son explained this to me in terms of like Milwaukee now, they have mobs, not necessarily the gangs like where we were just either we're all folks or we're all people, or we're all vice lords, we all foes, whatever we were. Now it's, I guess, just a group of individuals. No matter what they are one mob. I don't know if they click. They're cliques. So it's not like it's not like gang banging traditionally. How we like, oh, there go folks in them, let's bang on them or whatever. Now it's like, well, no, it don't matter whose people are folks, but they the so and so mob, and we're this mob. Like you said, cliques. It's all still gang shit. It's all still gang shit. It's all still gang shit.
Shit like that. And half of these little niggas don't even want to go to. The whole thing about it is, though, another thing that we also got to understand, and you know, we was talking about it Saturday when I was at the little summit they had. No matter how much we could come up with all, because Jason Fields was down there. I like Jason Fields, JB Bell, the lady, I can't think of her name, but she was fine as a motherfucker. But it seemed like she had a shitty attitude. I don't know if that was her son that was with her or her nigga, though. You know, I'm going to try to mac on something, though. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? But she got she's her name Dr. Attilia something. She got a charter school. She in charge of a charter school and where it was. But it was, you know, some movers and shakers here, I guess. You know what I'm saying? And the whole thing that everything was good. You know, talking about, you know, structure in Milwaukee while we can't do this. But one thing they missed, no matter what we do or we try to do, you still got Mr. Charlie. Charlie don't want to see the event too and few. So when you got MPS workers that come from out here where I'm at now in Grafton, Slinger, Dodge, Hartford, Waukesha County, all those other places, they are white. They don't want to educate the Milwaukee public school children to be able to be in competition with their children in the future for jobs and resources and stuff like that. So they're going to keep them on a subservient level.
Dion, let me ask you this though.
What?
Because I hear you now.
Yes, sir.
Now you blaming Mr. Charlie again, right? But we got a 45 to 48% truancy rate in MPS.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Charlie ain't got shit to do with that. Mr. Charlie ain't even got to try hard. Mr. Charlie can just kick back and be like, shit, they're not coming anyways. And see, that's the one thing that's not being mentioned when we start talking about what the actual investment in MPS should be. Downsizing is a necessity because you haven't figured out how to get the kids to come to school yet. You could put $3 billion in it and have the best facility in the world with 50 kids there. If they're not coming, first of all, you got to figure out how to get the kids back in school, whether or not that's a partnership between, like I said, at one point, I worked for truancy abatement and burglary suppression in Sherman Park, in which kids who were wandering the streets, not at school during the day, were brought to Sherman Park, and we kept them there for the duration of the day. And if there were supreme cases, they got to see me. I was the case manager when it was to the point where your mama was about to get a ticket because you ain't been to school. We need to start up something like that again. Because what we were able to offer those kids through that program especially was I appointed mentors, trackers, family therapists, individual therapists, people that would go and make sure they're in school, and even down to a big brother and a mentor, somebody who's going to spend time with you. So once again, because if we're going to make it super punitive for kids that fuck up, then we got to make it super beneficial for kids that ain't fucking up. We can't just be, we can't have it one way. So I guess my point is that some thought needs to be taken into the fact that downsizing is a necessity. Where you're going to have an issue is you're not fiscally responsible enough to deal with the surplus of buildings. You ain't gonna be able to figure out what to do with all them vacant, but you already struggling with it. So now you take all them kids out of Keith Avenue School, and where you gonna put them? Now, say they don't use Keith's building, which would be stupid, because that, along with Andrew Douglas, are two huge facilities that could really be reinvested in and making something really official for them kids. You're sitting there with the park. There used to be Lindbergh Park. I can't remember the sister's name after now. But that's just that whole campus can be a seriously elementary through middle through high right there. You got a field to.
Well, you know they're gonna turn that shit to apartments, low income apartments.
There we go. Okay. Well, yeah, Jackie Rabbit then.
But
Rabbit.
Now, this is me and this is my opinion, and I feel like I'm entitled to have my opinion because you said at the beginning of the show, everyone, is just the opinion of everybody. I feel like Mr. Charlie is the reason for everything.
I know, but I'm saying, how is Mr. Charlie responsible for kids making a decision not to go to school? How is that his fault?
Well, maybe because the children didn't have role models that went to school that were able to be impressionable on them.
That's his fault because their parents didn't go to school?
Wait, hold on. You know what I'm saying? Let me finish. Because it'll just go around. It'll go around and around.
I don't see how it can go around and around. I don't see how we can blame white people for our kids choosing not to go to school. Go ahead. I should let you finish. You're right. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, it'll start from being in a broken home. You understand what I'm saying? The resources are limited. Mom sexually is probably, we'll say, maybe sexually illiterate. I don't know. That's maybe the word I'm choosing. Maybe it could be another word. No, for real though. No, wait, hold on. Let me finish though.
Sexually illiterate.
So she got multiple children by different men. He probably raised, one of the men probably is violent, maybe physically or sexually abusive to one of his siblings, sister or whatever. He got uncles and have been to prison and things like this. We talking about a broken home. You understand? So there, he didn't see, living in the Rufus King area, see homeowners and stuff like this. He's sleeping on the floor and sometimes wake up because a roach is on his lip and got to kill the roach. You know what I'm saying? He's not seeing positive, productive people get up and be motivated to go to work. And, you know, they working hard. They got a manicured lawn, you know, new car every year, you know, the Christmas decorations up, Halloween decorations up,
How
you
is
know, the
this the white
family
man's
structure.
fault? How is that the white man's fault?
Because the white man broke the black man and he caused everything.
Oh my God!
But can we
man, time out. Wait, let me get to my chat room. This bullshit got to stop. I ain't even got waiters. Hold the fuck on. Hold on. Let me go to my chat room. This shit is wild.
Go ahead, kid.
Mama, shout out to Mama Jenkins. She said we just had that discussion today, my hubby and I. There's no family structures anymore. Parenting is on the job training, but there's no big mama or auntie around anymore. We had in the 70s. At the hospital, how to hold your child, change your diaper. Now you going and delivering. The next day, you out smoking blunts and ready to get another one. Children are raising children. This system got people messed up. Okay. Mariah Johnson. What up, cuz? How you doing? She said, listen, I drive kids to school. And when they absent, I ask where they been or why wasn't they in school? The answer would be, oh, I had to stay with my little brother or sister, or my little brother daycare was late. More kids, sadly, are being parents because mama got to be at work early. Mama Jenkins, thank you once again. I got to start giving out like accolades for when my outlaw family holds me down and I'm having a brain fart and I can't remember something. The Park, Mrs. Lucille Barron. Yes, that's why. And Lindbergh was a fucking racist anyway, so that shit should have been changed. That's the name of the park over there between where Keith Avenue and Andrew Douglas is. Shout out to you, Mama Jenkins. She said the park name. Okay, right. She was the first black woman that ran for mayor, and she raised a lot of children. She opened her home as a foster mother and raised a lot of children. But so back to you, Dion. Back to your ass. Vince, are you still on?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm listening to Dion crazy ass.
So is it the white?
I got you on mute because I got you on mute because I'm fucking with this trailer.
It's all good.
You know, yeah.
Dion,
I'm listening to you.
I mean,
what's up?
Vince, he just said in response to the 50%, we're going to call it 50, the 50% truancy rate in school, it is the white man's fault that these kids aren't coming to school. I just want to know how you feel on it. What you think about that? What's your take on that?
What's the word that he used? I mean,
sexually illiterate. That's what he said.
So we become our slave masters, and we perpetuate this system that they've laid out for us. They don't have to do shit because we're the gatekeepers of failure. I mean, we're not doing anything for families. We got all of this money that the Office of Violence Prevention, 414 Life, and Kevin and Dion brought it back home to where you started. It's at the family level, and nobody's doing anything with these families. Until we address that issue, nothing's going to change in this city, and it's nobody's fault but our own. We can't blame the white man anymore. I can't. It's us. It ain't nobody else but us allowing this shit to happen. And being in child protective services, we just come from such dysfunctional households. I think I put something out there a few weeks ago about 1 out of every 6 females in our community have been sexually abused. So we're under some scrutiny and some shit that, you know, fathers touching their kids. We got some shit that's going on in our community that we need to fix. And Kevin, I think some of the programs that you just talked about that you used to foster are absolutely what needs to be happen in the community. We have to have a program around truancy. I mean, so it sounds like it was successful. I worked for Running Rebels, and they had some kids. They got a grant to kids coming that were suspended from the school system. They came to Running Rebels, and we were supposed to be, doing what they were supposed to be learning in the school. But they up there, I transferred over. I was in mentoring, so I said, this sounds like a good program because we can make a difference. But that's not what they did. They took the money and they said, hey, these kids can sit around here and shoot dice, or not shoot dice, but play pool and play games and shit. I said, fuck that. I'm going back to mentoring because this is not what the grant was written for. So we got a lot of people out here that's chasing a lot of money, and it's us chasing the money, but we're not using the money for what it was granted for. It's for the benefit of our children and these families. These girls that are having these babies at 12 and 13 years old, they need, like you said, the food is poison. So you got a mother that's eating all of this poisoned food that's poisoning her baby. And all of this has effect on us physically, emotionally, and everything.
Wait, hold on, Vince. Hold on, though. We got a food desert. So what should she do? You know what I'm saying?
what she should do is that we
She don't have transportation either.
Yeah, we should have. Well, there's a lot of money out here that can take care of that. So we got food desert, but like Kevin said, we got to have people that you got to have a mentor, a crisis person, a therapist in this household that's going to be teaching this mother that this shit that you eating while she's pregnant is not good for your baby because it's damaging your baby while it's always already in the womb.
Hold on, Vince.
And then the hard part is her even agreeing to do it.
Right. And following through.
Following through. Right.
And come on, I want to say this too.
Kevin,
hold on, I want to say this to Dion.
That you had. The program that you had, Kevin, was addressing each one of those areas of their demise, and you had somebody constantly there to help this person. It's going to take time. It's not going to change overnight, but once we get it started, it can be perpetual. And I mean, the other thing is that, you know, even stopping a teenage pregnancy, how do we do that?
Okay, so now, great points. I want to go back to what Dion said about food deserts. And in the last, I would say 3 months, I volunteered 3 times at Feeding America, right there on Fond du Lac. Okay. And I got one more coming up in November. I'm going to be volunteering. And what we do is we basically pack food to be shipped off to food banks because they're the head. And then there's over 100 easily local donation spots for food. Now, here's the deal. They are all organized by area codes. And so if you live in 53206 and you put food bank in 53206, you're going to get 7 or 8 different places. And here's the deal. It ain't government cheese no more. It ain't government, the bullshit that they gave, you know, noodles or pork in a can. There's area like restaurants and stores that donate their food. And I'm talking about, listen, there's medicine, there's health food, there's vegetarian food, there's vegetables, there's produce. Each time I volunteered at Feeding America, we packed, they tell us at the end of the day, you all just packed over 4,000 pounds of food, which will be shipped out and go into the food banks. It's enough to feed X amount of families. So if there is a food desert, once again, if this young lady has assistance or this young man has assistance, and she knows I don't have any money, but I can go right down here. Hey, you can go to the Dawa Center on Titonia, and they just say bring a bag. You don't even have to be a Muslim. So you say, well, I ain't got no transportation. Well, you Uber everywhere else. You want Uber to get your kids no food? You tell me you can't. You got new hair. You got a new lace front, right? Like what? You got your eyebrows done, look like feather dusters. And I'm not trying to be Bill Cosby. I don't want to come down on poor people. I'm just saying somebody needs to step into the young people and say, there's what you need and what you want. In order to get what you want, you got to build your research, your reserves up on what you need. So once I got all the stuff that I need, well, then they need to know once you get there and you ignore all of this help, don't blame Mr. Charlie. Blame your motherfucking self. That's why I say it's not the right.
Have been normalized.
Listen. There's some people who've come from broken homes that have become tremendous successes. Because you got, look, and this is what the bottom line for black kids. You only got so much time to decide. And either study long or study wrong. All right. So this is what you facing. Keep living the street life. Because all these kids in these communities where they so traumatized by the violence, if they're so traumatized by it, then why do they wholeheartedly partake in it? They make decisions to do so. So if you're really that traumatized by the shit, break the cycle. Take advantage of the program that's reaching out to you saying, hey, here's some help. Man, listen, let me get to the chat room. I get fired up. Y'all get me excited. Jason, no Diddy, not excited like that. Jason Fidelity, my cousin. He said we have to hold ourselves accountable for what's going on now. That's what I'm saying. Listen, white people are responsible for enough shit, right? There's no taking any credit away from the white man for what he's done to us in this country. But a lot of this shit is our fault. They're self-inflicted wounds. Kamar, what we used to say, how much power do you give away as opposed how much is taken from you? We give away a lot of our power. We don't.
Kevin,
they don't take it from us all the time. We get here, take it. I don't give a fuck. Take it. Go ahead, Vince.
Yeah. Speaking of food, Jazz, when the young lady first purchased the gas station on I think it's 8th and Atkinson, I talked to her. I said, hey, why don't you be a forefront and in this store? And it was before they packed it full of all of that garbage that these kids eat. Why don't you be on the forefront and put some good food in here, some good nourishing, some good food in here, good nutritious stuff for these kids that are going to be coming in this store. And next time I went back to the store, it was full of that garbage, man. So we have to take responsibility for what we're feeding our kids.
You know, we got all these vegan entrepreneurs and all these people who really now are studying sustenance in terms of Black people. Why wouldn't somebody establish a community kitchen and make it a collaborative effort where people are donating and coming in there, you know, like I said, volunteering, working shifts, and make it so people can come in and get a fresh meal for low cost.
Hey, we got we do have a restaurant like that, Triple B Cafe.
There we go.
On North Avenue, right? It's pay what you got.
Okay.
Pay what you can.
And you broke up when you said the address. Say the address again.
I said it's right on the corner on 45th and North Avenue.
45th and North Avenue.
Pay what you can.
Okay. So we need more of that in our communities. We need more of that. We that's absolutely fabulous. Look, man, because imagine a poor mother with 5, 6 kids and say, I just don't got it today. And she can come in there and say, I got $2, y'all. And they be like, look, y'all go sit down. We're going to feed all of them. That's revolutionary. That's forward thinking. That's community building and community investment, man.
Hey, listen, that was the first vegan restaurant I ever found in Milwaukee.
Take that $2 million and give a grant for that.
Thank you.
Hey, what I was about to say. Well, what if your spirit broke though, Kev? You know what I'm saying though? Not, but see, I don't.
You got to start somewhere, Dion.
Wait, hold on.
You got to start working.
Let me use it as a crutch, but in all actuality, man, slavery, oppression, and all that shit, whether you want to believe it or not, it fucked us up tremendously. Yes, you do have few people that can escape, but when you look back and you didn't see nobody in your family being successful, you don't even know what success is because you ain't never seen them. You could say that my mama was this, my daddy owned the shop, this, that, and the other. You had people that inspire you. Maybe it was some mentors around you. Everybody don't have that. Yeah, it's easy to say, well,
let me dead your argument. No. Let me dead your argument because it's dead on arrival. You know why? Because you telling me what I had and what I seen. But you know who gave me? Hold on. No, listen at what I'm saying. Listen at what I'm saying. You know who gave me that vision of stability? You know who taught me all that? 2 people who didn't see it coming up. 2 people who came from the cotton fields in the Jim Crow South, who never seen anything positive, who was told they was niggas, but my mother didn't even graduate from high school because she had to pick cotton in the fields. Those are the people who gave me all of that. So we got to stop making excuses saying, oh, he broke his spirit broken. Oh, poor him. I ain't mad at you because you broke in my house and stole all my shit because you didn't have no father. Stop it. You know right from wrong, man. Stop it. Go ahead, Kamar.
Also, you know what I mean? It's a thing where it's like a lot of people get the information. Like it's always somebody trying to tell them how to do something better. Kev working in places like that, tell them this is what you could do, this is what you could do, you could do this, you could do that. You could get you a job here, you go do this, you know what I'm saying? But again, just like we was just talking about with teaching them about the food, like they have to want to go do something. They gotta want to jump through these hoops. You know what I mean? And then also, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, you get the information, you could get all the information, you know what I mean? Now, at some point, you have to start listening. You have to start trying something different. This shit ain't working. Now, whose fault is it if you don't never grab a hold of it? Like, it's always something. People are always somewhere helping somebody.
Life is hard.
Life is hard.
Life is hard. And when you come from where we come from, it's harder. So the fact that that don't give, just because I grew up tough doesn't give me the reason or justify me violating somebody else. Oh, I had a rough life, so I'm gonna shoot your son, right. Or I'm gonna steal your car, or I'm gonna You know what you done went out and work hard for. You know that's wrong. What you're doing is making a decision that you want to take a shortcut. That's what I say. Everybody wants the elevator to success, but it ain't no elevator. You got to take the stairs, and you're gonna go through some shit. It gets hard, man. You think it didn't get hard on my parents?
At some point, hey Dion, at some point you made a decision to start listening to somebody.
Exactly. I mean, listen, when the industrial collapse happened in Milwaukee, my father lost his job. He lost his good factory job. It was all
Didn't
bad.
stop him though, did it?
No, he went. Man, come on, man. I could do a whole show. I could do a whole show on how my father said, I got 2 young boys. I got a mortgage. I got a car note. I got a wife. I have no excuses. I have none. Exactly. And once again, this is a brother who grew up with nothing in Jim Crow, Mississippi. Shut up, nigger. My father was born in 1935. Okay. So he was born in the Great Depression. So he had he didn't have any excuses. He's like, look, if you don't got it, go get it or sit your ass down without it. That was just it. And so we offering, if you traumatize, I understand. Let's sit down and talk about it. But let's talk about it one time. Because if you stay stuck on this, you won't progress. You'll be sitting here 25 years from now, poor as a fuck, and then you'll really be upset when somebody like Trump come in and start cutting the cord on these social programs. That shit is the ends to that shit is the ends to a means. You ain't supposed to live your whole life on welfare. Motherfuckers turn it into a career. I retired from welfare. What the fuck you mean? Like you supposed to be on that shit for a couple years until you find a way. I don't care how broken your spirit is, your ass get hungry, don't you? Right? You need heat, don't you?
Straight up.
I would eat, but my spirit broken. Hell no.
Hey, check this out, Kel. I'm motherfucker Vince, right? And Vince tried to get the food store closed on 27 Atkinson where people could go get meat deals and potatoes and shit like that. So what's going on with that, Vince? Huh?
They probably come go get E. coli and everything else.
Dion, I'll tell you what's going on with it. It's not, shit hits the fan, and I'm not going to say it's me, but they were raided. Right now, their shelves are just about empty. They don't have a liquor license. The dude they can't accept Quest cards, so they're not raping our people anymore. It's gonna change.
Wow. And people live over there. They walked over there to get them little meat deals and
it wasn't no fucking meat deal over there. He was ripping up some bologna. He was taking their money.
Hey, they getting overpriced. They getting overpriced for some old ass meat. They get overpriced.
I'm fucking with you, Vince. I'm fucking with you.
You can't fuck with me like that because I'm changing. Dion, I'm changing the area that I live in. You come in on my block. This is the black suburbs around all of that bullshit that's going on. It's changing. It's gonna take time. I've met with David Mohammed, 414 Life, and all of those niggas, and I sat down and I gave them a 5-point plan what we could do together to start changing our community. Ain't now one of those niggas called me back.
Well, now David Mohammed is over the Advanced Peace Program. He's involved in this. Yeah.
But I met with those dudes last year because on Facebook, somebody called them niggas, what they call them, what do you call them? Poor people. They take advantage of poor people.
Poverty
and David
pimps?
Mohammed came to.
Oh, poverty pimps, yeah.
Yeah, they called David Mohammed a poverty pimp. And I said, hey, that's not what we're here for. We're here to change things. And David Mohammed came to the meeting. He said, anybody calls me out of my name, I'm there. I gave David Mohammed, Andre Lee Ellis, Victor Barnett, and some other people. And I met with Victor Barnett and Andre Lee Ellis on Monday. The niggas on Friday told them that I was trying to take over. I was trying to come up with a plan. I had a plan that if we work the plan together, we can start changing our neighborhoods and changing our people. But they didn't want part of that plan because all of these niggas want the fucking grant money. That's all they want. They don't give a fuck about our people.
Damn. Hot. Vince is hot tonight. Dion, you brought it out of him.
Coming in hot.
Mama Jenkins in the chat room, she said most of these programs are not designed to curb violence. This is why they continue to ramp up the money to these non-functioning agencies. And she said there's so many food programs. I'm already knowing. You don't hear me talk about what I do on a daily basis. But when I tell you, I've referred people to who are living food deserts, whose food share is either non-existent or exhausted, and they may have 5, 6 kids at home, to a place where they can get food for their children until they get their paycheck. This is just one of the things you don't hear me talk about this kind of stuff because, and I don't have no camera on me because I get compensated to do it. It's like, this is what they pay me for. So you don't see me bragging about it all the time. Cause somebody be like, well, Kev, your ass get paid to do that shit. It's like, yeah, it's right. But I mean, I still have passion. I still do it. Like, I don't leave money on the table that's out there for the people. If it's meant for the people, I'm gonna make sure I give it all. I've gotten in trouble at jobs. They be like, dude, you need to calm down. Hey, what you do? Why you get this? Hey, it's there for them. I just had a big tiff with my employer about free laptops. I gave away 150 free laptops. And they was like, well, why are you doing it? Because it's out there and it's meant for the people. And so that's why I did it.
Exactly.
So, I don't want to done enough about me, as they say. Let me go to the chat room.
They even when I work for Child Protective Services, those motherfuckers got pissed off at me. I come in this system. I say, what the fuck y'all doing? Y'all trying to keep our kids. These kids need to be at home with their fucking parents, and you guys are just taking advantage of these families, taking these kids away from their mothers and changing these kids to make them hate their mothers. They don't know who they are, where they came from. And they got pissed off at me because I'm saying, let's get these kids the fuck out of this system, this racist ass system. Child Protective Services, the juvenile justice system, all of that shit is bullshit, and it's just set up for us to fail. And they take advantage of our women. Period.
Right. And my cousin Jason, he said some fights are won by the system because we're not fighting back or even trying. Well, once again, I think we've become complacent. I think the ability to advocate for yourself, and this is where I go to what Dion said, and I can hear what he's saying. I can understand it from this perspective, is that some people become so downtrodden that they stop advocating for themselves. They start saying, well, shit, this is how it is on the nigga in this country. It's how it is in the hood. It's how my life is. I never knew my father. My mother was a crackhead. I had all kinds of issues with drugs. They stopped saying, well, hold on, but I deserve better than this. Let me start looking for something better. Instead of doing that, they continue in the same cycle. We always say, it's an overused cliche, doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results.
Insanity.
It's insanity. It's the definition of insanity. So until you're ready to change, like, that's why I don't, when brothers say, man, it's rough out here in these streets, man. I had got into it with this one dude and we had went and shot this and they came back and shot it. And it's like, am I supposed to feel sorry for you? You can't see right now you in a fucking deadly cycle. You got to remove yourself from that shit. Don't ask me for help if you don't want to remove yourself. I guess that's my point. So if that's white of me, then it is what it is. Mama Jenkins said these children are not only eating hot fries, the grown-ups are eating them also. What's needed is more adults setting good standards in venues for these children to vent and communicate. We had friends, parents that taught us and share stories about life goals. Family after family on welfare. The system has a handicap for our people. Well, once again, if people looked at welfare as the ends to a means and not a career, I really believe there's some professional welfare recipients. And I know black people like that shit sound bad, but listen, if you get one of the examples that I was gonna give, Dion, I'm like Kanye said, I'm gonna let you finish. But one of the further examples that when my pops got laid off from his job, finally Osiris Erie after 30 years in about 1982, 83, right? So he had a supervisor job and he was making good money. We were living, we was black hustables, right? We was cool. But my mom said, well, shit, we got these 2 kids here. I'm going to go and get food stamps. My father was like, no, the fuck you ain't. She's like, well, I don't know what you talking about. He's like, no, I don't know what you talking about. And then so she did it anyways, right? And Pops was mad, but he said, that's okay, because what I'm going to do is find a way to get enough money so you won't qualify for this shit no more. And that's what he did. So after a while, he was back making some, money. So she was like, I'm not going to do this no more because he get pissed off. He used to get pissed off when she would buy somebody's food stamps. Like, no, you don't need that shit. We don't need that shit. It was part of he felt like as a dad, he was failing if we was living off the county. Now, that time when we really needed, his ego was really saying, no, but my mother was like, nah, fuck what you talking about, right? but he got right. And so people look at when I worked in Hillside and I was a job coach for the housing authority, I would talk to so many people who would tell me, I've been living here since I was 10. I've been here 25, 30 years. And I would say, well, this program that I'm working on, we're going to give you a chance to get out of here because we'll work with me. I'll get you a good paying job and we'll work on your credit and you get a rent increase freeze for like 3 years, meaning no matter how much money you make, if you're paying $75 a month, you in our program, your rent can't go up. So if you go to making $1,000 a month and your rent is $75 a month, imagine the savings. People was telling me, you know what, Kev, I don't want to do that, Mr. Barnes. I ain't finna mess up my money. Man, if I do that, they're going to take my disability check. And then COVID came and they was getting so much money off unemployment. They was like laughing like, Mr. Barnes, you cool and all, man, but nah, man. Dude, we had companies who was just say, look, we don't have any employees. Just if people just come online, we're going to be online at 9 o'clock in the morning. We hiring on the spot. People still wouldn't log on, man. And so is that the white man's fault? I don't think so. That's my rant.
Hey, but you know what though? Welfare can become a trap. Because a friend of mine, she gets some, I don't know what she gets, but she called me the other day and was like, wanted me to, basically put two heads together is better than one. So she was like, I can't get no job because if I do, they gonna go up on my rent. Because basically I think the city just paying her shit on GP. The only thing she got to do is pay her utilities. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, well, shit, you better try to go to school or something. She's like, well, any type of income I get. She said she was door dashing and they try to go up on her money. You know what I'm saying? On her rent. And she was like, any type of income I get, she was like, shit, I got to report it. So you know me, I said, well, shit, either you can go to school, fuck with one of them Arabs, some on the south side, see if they can pay you on the table some cash. Or you got to, shit, you better get you a pack. Because I don't know what to tell you. If you know what I'm saying? Because if you, and some people I can understand, I really could understand it. I'm about to break it down, so please don't interrupt me. So you could be making $30. Wait, hold on. You could be, now, if you're a woman, we're going to say you got 3 kids. Fuck, we're going to give you 3. You making $30 an hour. $30 an hour seems like some good money. So basically say with a little overtime, whatever, you gross to $1,500 every week. You know what I'm saying? Maybe every 2 weeks you get paid. After taxes, you might bring home maybe 27, 24, whatever. Because you can't get no state assistance now. So you got to pay your insurance, your dental, vision, and health out your money. You got to, we ain't only said mortgage, you got rent. Your motherfucking rent probably $1,800 a month. You got 3 kids you got to provide for. All that other type of shit. You got 3 kids you got to provide for. Pay cell phone bill, little miscellaneous shit, all that. You still could end up living paycheck to paycheck. So
well, shit. Well, first of all, there's a such thing as a budget. You're making $2,500. That's $5,000 a month, and you talking about you living. Then you're wasteful. You're not budgeting your money. Kids. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
They want shit.
Some of the shit they can't have. You can't have it all.
You got cell phone bills.
I'm not your friend. I'm not your friend. I'm your parent. I'm not. You don't get everything you want because I don't have enough to give. I'm gonna give you what I can. That's called instilling discipline and work ethic and telling them when you get to a certain age, you go out here and you get a little job and you can get that. I can't afford it. What the kid gonna say? I'm not your kid no more. See, that's where people listen. Let me tell you something. Hold on. Because once again, I flash back to the times when my father lost his gig, right? And all of a sudden, the money that was normally in there was gone, right? You know what my mother did? She slashed the budget. I ain't wear name brand shit for like 3 years. We went to JL Marcus. My mother went to the Goodwill. I had so many Oxford shirts from the Goodwill and Purple Heart and the store for the blind and Salvation Army. My mother went and started picking vegetables and fruit, canning them, just so we wouldn't have the grocery bill wouldn't be so high. What I'm saying is where there's a will, there's a way. She made the sacrifice to say, you know what? Well, it was the early 80s, right? So it's like, well, I didn't get no real name brand shoes, bro, until like 86. Before that, I was JL Marcus to death. She ain't doing nothing
extravagant though. All she doing is paying her rent, buying food because she don't get no assistance, cable. You gotta have
Where she
Wi-Fi because the
shop at?
kids want to
Where
do their
you said
homework.
buying food? Where she work at? I mean, where she shop at? What food is she going to Woodman's buying in bulk because she got 3 kids, or she running to Aldi's every other Friday?
Store.
Right? Or is she going? We gonna go to Red Lobster tonight, y'all. We going to the chocolate factory.
I mean, goddamn, a motherfucker can't enjoy a little bit.
You can't afford it. You can't afford it.
That's the problem with black people, right there.
Yep.
That's the problem with black people.
Hey, Dion, I bet she got some new eyelashes and got her hair done.
I don't know.
Yeah, she gonna keep her hair done and keep her toes.
That's her problem.
And probably got a daughter that wants the same thing. Like, come on, man.
So she could catch some bum ass nigga.
Let me let Kamar get off because I want to make sure everybody can hear everybody. Kamar, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, you know what I mean? We got to stop giving people excuses. You know what I mean? Like, I talk to people and I tell them about what they may need to do to lose weight or something. And I start talking about eating better. You know what I mean? And it's all kind of excuses. I tell this one person, I said, well, you know, you may need to start eating more salads and shit. You don't need to do that. Start prepping your food on the weekends so you can take it with you throughout the week and all that, right? Well, they tell me, well, you know, all that's going to be more. That's going to be too expensive. That's going to be too expensive. But at the same time, they telling me they don't eat that much, but they order Uber Eats every night when they get home from work. You know what I'm saying? And that's like $20 a pop. I'm like, oh, you could get salad. You could spend $20 and eat all week on salad. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a whole bunch of ways black people could cut their budgets down. It's a whole bunch of shit we do that we really don't have to do. You know what I'm saying? It's shit that we can't afford, really, that we be out here doing. You know what I'm saying? And then when it's time to pay bills, we start complaining, talking about how much something is. Or I need help with this. I need help with that. But you ain't need help with them J's. You ain't need help with that $250 hairdo. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. It is different ways where we can cut back and start.
And come on, and all the while you making the Koreans rich because she the one putting the eye. You know, it's just I'm gonna go buy me some hair and look, go natural, baby. You ain't got the money, you can't afford it. You better get you a hot comb and some grease.
Feel like a lady though.
Hair weave defines your womanhood. What are we talking about?
Hey, my mama felt like a woman every day of her life, and she never
do it herself.
Man, let me get to my chat.
I know a whole bunch of women. I know a whole bunch of women that don't wear wigs, never wore a wig in their life.
That's right, especially if they can't afford it.
Yeah. Hey, Dion,
hold on, Vince. Let me get the chat room. Mama Jenkins said, "Don't tell Dion none of your business." LOL. If you a female, y'all better stop telling Dion. You gonna put that shit on the radio. You'll be like, he talking about me. My cousin Mariah, she said, I got 3 kids and make $30 an hour, and it's called a budget. I'm also off all summer with them. My favorite thing is my 3 boys. She said, do you need it or do you want it? We travel. My oldest is in AAU. Budget. And I'm trying to tell you, as a father who did AAU, it's expensive. Listen, the entry fee is $700, and then they got to travel all summer. You got to have shoes.
What is that?
It's basketball. It's the basketball. Like what kids? If you want to hoop, you got to play AAU. Like it's almost unavoidable. I would say play Warning. Ain't nobody fucking with Warning no more. Hot ass concrete courts. Shout out to Rick Muhammad. He always be mad about this shit. Go ahead, Vince.
My son came when he came to live with me at 13 years old. The summertime. I'm trying to teach him about money, and school getting ready to start. I said, here, you got $200 to go out here and buy you some clothes, for school. I took him to the store. I said, we can buy 4 or 5 shirts, pants, this, that, and the other. That nigga wanted one outfit, a white outfit. The next day he comes home. He say, Dad, what I'm going to wear to school? Nigga, you get your ass in your room and you find you something to wear. Because I showed you how to budget your money.
Straight up.
I didn't have, listen, once again, my mother was my mother. She wasn't my friend. So when she said,
exactly.
listen, I almost got skint alive. This is a true story. Shout out to Bear Meat. I wish he was on with me. We went to J.L. Marcus one particular year. I was a little kid. I didn't know how bad they had a house note. They had a car note. You know what I'm saying? My parents and my father had the carpet snatched out from under him. And we went to J.L. Marcus, man, to get our school shoes. And my brother, he's older than me. He found some shoes that was $4. There was tennis shoes. I had some that was $8. My mother wanted to kill me in the store because I would not look at no other shoe. And they was $8. She threatened my life. Like, why can't you get what he get? And I'm looking at it like, this awesome generic shit anyways. Like, people coming to school wearing Air Force Ones and shit. I got on some NCAs, yo. Like, it was, but the budget, because one thing she would say is, you might not have no shoes with nobody's name on it, but you got something hot to eat every day you bring your ass home from school, don't you? You got heat, don't you? You got a place to stay, don't you? Yeah, well, you shut your ass up and wear them goddamn NCAs until we can do better. And when it got better, I got better. When it got better, my father said, you know what, we ain't finna be sending them to school with them shoes and shit like that no more, you know. I'm taking them from now on. I never forget, I got a pair of New Balance from Athlete's Foot in Mayfair that was $50. My mind was blown. I had smoke coming out of my ears when I said, Dad, he said, you want these? I said, Pop, them $50. He said, do you want them or not? I said, this nigga crazy. He finna pay $50 for me some shoes. Let me hurry up and snatch it. Look, I tried to fit my foot in some Jordans. Because I said, can I get these? He said, if you want them. I was like, I'm wearing these me. He's like, dude, your toes is sticking up. They don't got me your size. I was like, after that, then things got better. Like I said, then I got a little snooty. Like, well, no, I got to get Levi's. I got to get Bugle Boys. You know, I got to have the fly shit now. But that came later. We had to go through a struggle, and my parents had to budget. I didn't have no choice to accept it. Mama Jenkins said, living above your means, only buy what you can afford. You're right, Kev. It's called a budget. She said PW equal piss wipers. That's what we used to call them, piss wipers. And you know you getting ribbed as soon as you walk on the playground. Look at this nigga's shoes. I was some piss wipers. Fuck you, man.
But they fast though.
Right, I'm faster than you.
But they fast though.
On my mama, you would tear that whole motherfucking shoe up and skin the bottom of your feet, man. On the real.
You said they fast. Niggas used to be like, wait, but I'm faster. I'm fast with these, yo. Like,
I'm faster in these shoes.
Oh my God. Growing up in the damn ghetto.
My son didn't realize I was paying back $15,000 in back child support and $600 a month in child support for my daughter. I ain't had no money.
Wow.
Lord have mercy.
Well,
I ain't had no money.
I thank the Lord. I thank the Lord. And when I say it, I'm being sincere. My son was wearing Jordans at 4 and 5 because I knew what it felt like to have to wear them piss wipers. So I made sure he was always laced. That dude ain't never wore no bottom dubs. Like, and I would make sure I made it a point. Like, nah, I'm getting my wife like, you gonna pay that much for his shoes? I'm like, yeah, I have to, because I know what it's like to grow up. Man, we used to have rustlers, man, and the rustlers used to be boot cut, man. And you know, everybody had on Guess and Lee's and Levi's and Sergio Valentes. I had some rustlers, man. I had Wranglers. I wore Tough Skin to school. Remember Tough Skins with the built-in knee pads? Mm-hmm. I used to show up at the school with them on, man.
That's why you know how to fight. That's why you know how to fight so good. You've been fighting all your life.
Goddamn right. Like, man, with a good boy, I opened up our family book and started the family pictures when I was little. We just looked at one the other night, and I said, that's got to be at least 1985. Why the fuck do my mother got that shirt on me? It had to be from like 72. But you didn't question it. You wore what she gave you, like. And like you said, Dion, I get to school, you want to run your mouth? What's the name of the show tonight? Watch your mouth. That's what we say, man. Hey, Ken, where you get them shoes from? Watch your motherfucking mouth, man. You get your ass whooped fucking with me. Hey, man, we got to get out of here, man. It's after 10. I always be having too much fun, especially when Dion is on the line acting a fool and then Vince call in and we just get to popping on all cylinders. Yeah. This is my birthday weekend, man, so we won't be on Monday. My birthday is actually Monday. Yeah. Ain't no haps on the craps Monday. It's my birthday. At the Cash App at the bottom, if y'all want to give me a birthday present. I know people like, fuck
I'm gonna text you happy birthday. I ain't gonna eat.
Let's see. There we go.
Hey, Kev, I got something for you. We're gonna have to get the garage though.
Hey, I'm always available, but just never free. Right?
I know that's right.
When I'm gonna get an invite to the garage and shit.
Hey, Dion, you might not like what happens in the garage. I know how you know.
I don't want to. to be around nobody smoking and drinking and all that.
Yeah, man.
I don't like that shit.
It'd be all kinds of
you
stuff.
won't like the garage then.
Yeah, man.
I like to talk politics and whatever going on.
Oh, we still
do
talk
that.
like that. It's a juke joint, man. It's the hole in the wall.
How old are you gonna be? 49, right?
Yes, sir.
Well, happy birthday, my nigga.
Yeah.
16, 13, 12, which is pretty much love. I love y'all.
Well, I don't
love
need
y'all.
that. I don't
Vince,
need that.
you keep up-
Don't
Vince,
talk to
you
me
keep
in
up the fight.
don't talk to me in gang member codes. I don't need that. I don't
You
need
keep
that.
up the fight, Vince.
Right. He's trying to
I
slip
love the
that shit in there.
information
Come on.
that you be sharing with me.
215, 19.
Kamar, I'm gonna try to get down there this weekend before I go to Chicago. I might just stick my head in there just to piss you off to listen to the guy talk about the expungements in the park. You know what I'm saying? And be like, but you know,
I'm doing it this year. Hey, we got results, Dion. I don't know what happened with you. We've been having results.
I don't know.
But speaking of that,
Cam,
since he stole the transition, thank you, man. I appreciate your birthday wishes. Kamar, what's going on with the event this weekend? Because he kind of
I'm
spent
gone,
it.
y'all. I'm gone.
Hey,
Boy,
be
he-
safe, Dion. Be safe.
He talking about the
Yes,
felony expungement.
But you got a whole thing going on this weekend. So
Well, yeah, we on this our way. You know what I mean? The free workshops. We got the free workshops. Come on down, learn something. You know what I mean? We got the expungements going on. I'm taking advantage of it this month. I've been bullshitting and not doing it, but I'm finna go do it this month. I done watched a few brothers. You know what I'm saying? Go through the process. So, you know what I mean? I'm fit to get involved and get my shit taken care of too.
there you go.
Then I'll be able to go to the gun range with you, kid.
Oh, you ain't said nothing but a word, Jack.
Yeah.
So it's at Sherman Phoenix, because I know at first there was I seen some people that thought maybe it was still at the hotel, but it's actually
we're gonna be at the Sherman Phoenix. The hotel, they didn't have the right insurance, so they can't sell drinks, and all of my vendors sell drinks and stuff. So
okay.
I just backed on out of it.
Okay, that's what's up. What time do it start?
10 o'clock to 4.
Okay, 10 o'clock.
Y'all pull on up. Come learn something. Come get you something healthy.
That's right. That's right. Vince, you got anything special going on this weekend? Or did we? Vince,
No, nothing special, Kev. I'm clearing my head, and I'm working with some guys that flip houses. I got a guy that's 28 years old who's a master plumber who would like to get into apprenticeships and teaching some of the young kids some of the trades, because he says it's easy to make $100,000, and like we said, those type of skills are needed in our community. When you call a plumber, it's going to cost a lot of money, but if we can saturate the system with more plumbers, the prices are going to come down, and we're going to have some brothers out there that's making some decent money. Okay,
that's what's up. I got my fingers crossed. Like I said, my son is showing out. I can't miss a moment, man. I can't miss a moment. So I know he plays this weekend. Like I said, it's my birthday weekend. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know where I don't know if me and wifey gonna do something special. I don't know. I just know I'm off everything this whole weekend. I might not even brush my teeth. No, I'm joking. I'm gonna brush my teeth. I'm joking. But I'm just gonna be chilling, man, and just enjoying my journey and being grateful that I made it this far, because the one thing about it is they told me when I was young that my life expectancy was 19 and a half years old. And so I beat that. I beat that in tremendously. So I'm actually happy. I'm just looking forward to taking more control over. Now I know Father Time is undefeated. So as an old man, you really got to pay a little bit more attention to what you do. And I've done that successfully over the last 8 months in terms of how I'm eating and how I'm moving. But I still got bad habits, so I'll stray back. So I got to be careful sometimes. Or like, boy, you treated yourself to Italian beef now. Don't go back to making it regular. So just that continuous management, man, and enjoying living and learning is I'm one of those people. I enjoy learning. Like, to me, that's the greatest thing. Like if I'm learning something or getting informed about something, it's like the best thing in the world for me. And hopefully this weekend the weather holds, man, because what I really want to do is just have me a really good RC day. That'll really make my birthday special. But anyways, man, thank y'all for tuning in. Please share the show. We're nothing if you don't share the show, because I don't spend a lot of money on marketing and advertising, which is what I should get into. But I just feel like we need to keep it organic. And you know, when you start bringing certain individuals in and you make a little money, then it kind of compromises shit. So I want to make sure anybody I bring in to invest in the show is with the vision of it and is with, you know, making sure that it's still valid and it's solid. Because the one thing about Outlaw Radio is all doers. And that's why you hear Kamar when the show starts saying, where we talk that talk and we walk that walk, because everybody on the show really does what they say they do. You ain't got to look far to see Vince getting escorted out of a school board meeting for raising hell. You ain't got to go far.
To the school board meeting.
Right. Any meeting. Vince is disguise himself as the media and go down there and be interviewing the mayor. This is real shit that happens. You see Kamar doing what he do. And like I said, I've been a professional people helper for 23 years. So it's all about not just talking about it. It's about actually doing something about it. Because if you get into a situation where your criticism of the community outweighs your contribution to it around these parts, we look at you as a coon. So I will see y'all Wednesday, man. Happy birthday, Big Kev, to myself. And peace and love, man. Y'all stay steady.
Peace.